Utah has been the great John Stockton. The NBA's all-time assist and steals king has propelled the Jazz for 12 straight years. In 1985, an unheralded kid from Louisiana Tech came to Salt Lake City to put his stamp on the game. 11 years later, Karl Malone has emerged as the top power forward in the game. Together, the Stockton and Malone show has played in 1,824 games. The dynamic duo has amassed over 35,000 points and 13,000 assists to go along with 587 wins. Together, they captured the gold medal, the only remaining achievement, the NBA title. Along with Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal. Welcome to the house that John and Karl built, the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. Tonight, the New York Knicks come calling on the Utah Jazz. Utah, quietly, one of the elite teams in the NBA. They lead in the Midwest Division, average 104 points a game, have the 4th best record in the NBA. And while you're talking about Chicago and Seattle and Orlando and Houston and San Antonio, you better include Utah in the elite group.
You're absolutely right, Bob. They're on their way, and you said it perfectly, quietly to 60 wins. And they're doing it with a differential of 6.6, both ends of the floor. And you can say they're only behind Chicago and Seattle in that category. But when you think of Utah, you think of half-court offensive execution. And would like to throw some numbers at you. They're first in field goal percentage. The assists go with that hand in hand. Points per game right there. The three-point shooting always dangerous, and their free throw shooting outstanding at 78%.
Now, the New York Knicks, first of all, the good news. Patrick Ewing, after missing 3 games with an ankle injury, came back Wednesday night with a vengeance, 31 points, 13 boards, played 38 minutes. However, and I know, Hubie, this will shock you, the New York Knicks are in kind of a state of turmoil. They've had 12 different starting lineups. They've lost 4 in a row. They've had injuries to Oakley, to Ewing, to John Starks recently, and, of course, new faces in Anderson, Reed, Lohaus since the trade. What's the status of the New York Knicks?
Well, it's all of the above. You can say style of play. You can say that I don't understand my role, trades, injuries. But then you have to look at it, Bob, and say, a year ago, this team was 26-15 on the road, a plus 11. Number 1 in the Eastern Conference. This year, 13-13. They pummeled the sub-500 teams a year ago, 39-8. Already this year, they've lost 12 times. Then you say, well, why? Well, they're differential. 2 years ago when they were in the finals, a 7.0 differential. Last year, 3.1. This year, 1.9. It's subtle, but it's a reason. You say no easy baskets. Why? They are 28th in offensive rebounding. That's not the rough and tumble Knicks that we know.
Hardly. But rough and tumble, we do have that tonight. 2 of the premier power players in the game, Mason and Malone. Early matchup to watch.
Yeah, I really like this. If the Knicks are going to get it done, Anthony Mason must stay out of foul trouble. You see, he gives them 43 minutes a game. But tonight, when you get the mailman gets the calls. You don't get to be first team All-NBA 7 straight years. Numbers, 26-5, 10 rebounds. The minutes are there. But the key with Karl Malone, he gets on the foul line, shoots over 8 a game, plus he'll shoot over 50%. Mason has his work cut out.
And another piece of good news for the Knicks. John Starks, who twisted his ankle Wednesday, will play, although he'll be coming off the bench tonight. Hubie and I will be back here to the Delta Center in just a moment for the Knicks and the Jazz. But after this commercial timeout, we'll join Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
NBA on TNT is brought to you by Accent, Elantra, and Sonata from Hyundai. Some of the best ideas on the road. By Domino's Pizza. When it's got to be deep, it's got to be Domino's Ultimate Deep Dish Pizza. By AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. And by AT&T.
The critics have praised the Hyundai Accent in terms that are lofty, elevated, uplifting, on a higher plane than the competition. So, if you've been looking for something nice in economy class, Accent is the only way to fly. The 1996 Accent from Hyundai.
In Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, people drive for miles around just to see Don Ballard. Because when it comes to car repair, well, there's not much he can't fix. You see, Don's the type of guy who believes that doing a job right and saving money go hand in hand. So he begins each job with a trip to AutoZone. Sure, it's a 20-mile drive. There are other parts stores along the way. But for Don, when it comes to getting the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
ท่าทางเหนื่อยเชียวอย่างนี้แหละต้องรื้อปรับระบบต้องหาคนช่วยเสียเงินแต่ก็ไม่ดีขึ้นใช่วะอย่างนี้ต้อง IBM เฮ้ยงั้นต้องซื้อฮาร์ดแวร์เพิ่มสิไม่ใช่ IBM เขามีบริการปรึกษาการจัดระบบเขาจะมาอยู่กับคุณจนงานเรียบร้อยเลยหุ้นผมขึ้นเลยครับขายเลยครับ
Okay, camera left. Great. In business news, the paper trail widens in the discount long-distance controversy known as RateGate.
A discount long-distance company promised dramatic savings over AT&T. But watch what happens when you compare similar calling plans.
Those numbers are about the same.
What happened to that 15% savings?
The answer when we return. Clearly, they don't know about.
And we're out.
Call 1-800-COMPARE for a competitive price you can believe in.
17 Fridays ago, the NBA season started. Now there are just 8 left as we tip off the month of March with the Knicks and the Jazz on TNT. Ernie Johnson, Reggie Theus with you from Atlanta. A couple of miles from here at the Omni, Lenny Wilkens has another coaching milestone in his sights. 1,000 career wins as his Hawks meet one of his former teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Certainly to get to 1,000. I mean, I never dreamed that anyone would break Red's record, let alone get there. So it does mean something.
How many more do you have in you?
I don't know. I think that if you enjoy what you do, you're healthy, and you see that you're making progress with young people, then it's fun. The day it ceased to be fun is the day I'm going to get out.
And we'll see if Lenny's having any fun so far. Yeah, going to the second period at the Omni, the Hawks on top. 23-18 over Mike Fratello's Cavs. How about the win breakdown for Lenny Wilkens to get to 999? The majority of the wins coming with the Sonics in 11 seasons, 478 of those. Lenny's 1982 Sonics, in fact, won 12 straight, a franchise record that can be tied tonight if Seattle wins in Boston. Reggie, this is much more of a Sonic team this year.
There's no question, Ernie. You know, the team has matured quite a bit. And, you know, Coach George Karl doesn't have to do as much babysitting now. He got rid of Marshallonis and Kendall Gill. Those guys were kind of griping about playing time. Now he's got some old veterans coming off the bench. Vincent Askew, you got Nate McMillan, and also Frank Bukowski. I talked to Frank Bukowski today, and he said something really interesting. He said that Detlef Schrempf is an all-star that plays like a role player, and that this team is going to go as far as Gary Payton can take us. I thought that was really interesting.
Certainly, and the Sonics really on a roll, and everybody talks about the Bulls getting 70 wins. All the Sonics have to do is go 27-0 the rest of the way. We'll have highlights from the Spleet Center and other arenas at halftime, but straight ahead it is back to the Delta Center. Patrick Ewing and the Knicks, Karl Malone and the Jazz, ready to go toe-to-toe on TNT.
The critics have praised the Hyundai accent in terms that are lofty, elevated, uplifting, on a higher plane than the competition. So, if you've been looking for something nice in economy class, Accent is the only way to fly. The 1996 Accent from Hyundai.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite. It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine.
You do not belong in my house. So you show up every morning.
I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you. If only for an instant.
Even if it's just for an instant.
Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
You and I have a lot in common. I look at you, I see myself.
Pay too much for auto supplies and you'll feel like one too. At Pep Boys, 445,000-mile tires, just $139. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
This is my planet.
Yeah, I do believe. Yeah.
side to the game. When we're watching hoops, it's all about moves.
Check out my 360 spin.
Ooh, the pickpocket steal. Around the back, 3-finger dial. Yes. Gotta be dominoes.
Sweet move.
Any way you slice it, we've got the pizza for you. Ultimate deep dish, classic hand tossed, or crunchy thin crust. What are you waiting for? Make the call to Domino's.
Along with Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Utah Jazz and the New York Knicks. And let's have a look at the starting matchups tonight, Hubie.
The Mason and Malone naturally is big, but that you have to go to the point guard position with Harper and Stockton. That also, Harper must keep Stockton under control.
All right, and Kevin Kiley is with us courtside. John Stockton missed shoot-around today, Kevin, but here he is starting tonight.
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, in Utah, they're pretty tough. They're all going to go. David Benoit has an ankle. He will play tonight. Felton Spencer a couple of weeks ago busted his nose, courtesy of Eldon Campbell of Los Angeles. And against the Bullets in his last game, George Murison gave him an adjustment, but he'll play tonight. John Stockton was the big concern, had a knee that locked up against the Bullets. He missed the shoot-around, but he's healthy, and he's going to play tonight, as he always does. For the Knicks, well, the two most valuable people in the franchise, the travel agent and the doctor. Tonight, Patrick Ewing, about 80% with problems with both ankles, had 31 in the last game. He's going to go, but he'll be hobbled just a little bit. Charles Oakley, 4.5 more weeks with an injured thumb. And then John Starks, who injured his ankle in the last game. Because Patrick Ewing, his friend, missed 3 games, John says, I'm not missing any. I'm going tonight. Back to you, Bob.
John has an injured ego, however. We'll be talking about that as we go along with the ball game. There's Anthony Mason matched up with Malone early. There's John not starting. Officials tonight, Jess Kersey, Ron Oleziak, and Tom Washington. Patrick Ewing missed 3, then came back and got 31 and 13, thank you very much, in the 90-85 loss at Sacramento. Jeff Hornacek comes away with the tip. This game is underway, and the Jazz have a 2-0 lead.
Anytime that you allow Hornacek and Stockton an open look at the basket, it's usually quick death.
Quick death. Here is Derek Harper looking for Patrick Ewing. He played 38 minutes, did Patrick, after missing 3 on Wednesday. Takes it inside against Felton Spencer with not much difficulty.
Now, good strategy by Patrick. Spencer has problems with lateral movement. Anytime that you stretch him out, make him guard you for about 6 to 8 feet, you're in good shape. Excellent pass from the high post that time to Benoit going on the baseline.
Jazz 4-2, 11-14 to go, opening moments. Harper misses, rebound, Malone. Here is John Stockton, Gonzaga College.
They're very methodical. They take their time, run a lot of screen and rolls.
A good strip of the ball down low by Mason when he got it to Spencer. Here's David Benoit going for 3 and missing. David, of course, will maybe never live down the big 3 he missed in the playoff, despite the fact that he played very well, and I think it's affected his play this year.
Well, it probably has, Bobby. He's struggling this year. He's only shooting 42%. But Jerry Sloan loves his overall game, and they have a number of guys that they can play at that position with Adam Keefe and also Chris Morris.
And David Benoit was the recipient, should have been the recipient of the pass from Karl Malone. It goes out of bounds, and the New York Knicks down 4-2 have the ball. New York Knicks with their 1996 new traveling uniforms on.
Well, that time Benoit faked like he was going to run a back door, like he did on a previous play, and Malone anticipated.
There's Harper with the nice penetration. The rebound by Mason, the strip by, guess who? John Stockton. They dig the ball out as well as any NBA team.
Well, he's the best. He's the designated guy who attacks every post-up player. So what you must do is you have to always look for him and then try to punish him by hitting his man for the open 17, 18-foot shot.
Ewing was successful going to the left on Malone last time. He did it again, and now Felton Spencer with the foul. Series notes against these two, 5 of the last 6. Remember, though, that goes back 3 years. They only play twice a year. Derek Harper to Anthony Mason. Mason, the point forward, as you can see, doing that at the moment. Hubert Davis starting. Davis has been playing better and better, more and more minutes this year. And here's Hubert Davis doing what he does best, shooting from the perimeter. His miss, rebounded by Malone.
When you play in this building, if you're matched up with Malone, you must get back in transition.
Stockton, Malone, points, assists.
John Stockton has a magnet reaching out for Karl Malone anytime there's a transition game.
Mason posted against Malone. We talked about this matchup earlier. Mason couldn't penetrate to Harper, who can and does score.
See, that's what we just meant by saying when Stockton goes down in a double team and you kick out, you have the advantage of the shot or fake the shot and take him off the dribble.
Stockton drives, assist. Spencer rolls around and out. Hubert Davis quickly into the middle. Ball's knocked out of bounds, 18 on the shot clock. Knicks ball.
We're going to give you a transition here and just show you how Stockton will find Malone. As he comes down the middle, you see the congestion. Well, Malone will post up. But also, anytime that Malone fills the outside lane, you'll see the long pass to lead him.
Everybody from the Jazz wearing carnations. Big event here, I'll tell you about in a moment. Lohaus, left-handed hook, comes in and out of there. Felton Spencer with the rebound. And John Stockton brings it back. Jazz up 6-4. 3 minutes gone, first quarter. Hornacek into Malone, defended by Mason. Turnaround jumper, he's pushed by Mason. Reason for the carnations. Marquee will have his jersey retired here tonight. And Hubie, I know you thought a lot of him as a person and as a player who turned out in 12 years to be a great player in the NBA.
Bob, you have to give this organization a lot of credit. They picked him on the 4th round. He only played 196 minutes of college basketball at UCLA. He was only there for 2 years, played junior college 2 years before that. He had no intentions of being a basketball player. He was an auto mechanic. And a junior college coach found him and says, you know what, I think that you should come to this school. You can help us basketball-wise. Next thing you know, 4th round draft pick, everybody's laughing. He came in here, and all he did was block over 300 shots a year for 6 consecutive years. Never duplicated in the NBA history.
The Mountain Man, Mark Eaton, still lives up in the Park City area here in Utah, and it'll be an extended halftime for the celebration of his career of 12 years. Jazz 7-4, 8:44 to go to the first period. Mason in the paint.
Well, they try to take advantage of Mason this year. They allow him to post up. They allow him to take his man off the dribble because he is one of the very few guys on the Knicks who can continually take a man and beat him off the dribble and cause a double team.
Stockton comes up short with that jumper. Malone rebounds it. Here comes Derek Harper. Ewing down low against Stockton.
That's his shot.
Get it to him, and Lohaus misses. Unusual start for Lohaus tonight.
Well, Lohaus is a premier three-point shooter. He's an over 40% guy.
Stockton waiting, and scoring. And asking Ron Elysiak for a foul call. Got popped on the top of the head. Didn't get it. It's 9-6, Utah. Davis.
He's off balance on that one. He never gave himself a chance to set up, and he was wide open, Bob. He had a good screen. Now we're going to give you Mason right now. And see, Mason realized he can take Malone. Even with the double team, if you fake in, they're always going to protect the lane. Then if you have any kind of a fade jump shot, you're in business.
Ewing.
See, there's Stockton once again. Harper flew right by.
We have a 9-8 ball game with 7:34 to go in the first period of play. Bob Neal, Hubie Brown, Kevin Kiley with you from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Beautiful day here today. Sunshiny, and I hear the skiing was great.
Great pass. An excellent catch by Spencer at 7-2 and in a soft delivery.
Utah by 3. Felton Spencer playing well at center. They have somewhat of a center by committee here with Ostertag and Antoine Carr and Greg Foster coming off to play.
Oh, yes, Patrick.
Ewing abusing Spencer offensively here early.
Did you say he had a bad or he's over it?
He's over it. I think that's what I said.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that was really a quick move.
Ewing's 3 of 4, 6 points early on here.
Right now, they're wearing out this UCLA cut. Stockton hits the wing, cuts, drops back, they hit him, and then they run screen and roll. They're running it to death because the Knicks right now are having a lot of trouble defending it.
Harper in traffic, gets the basket and count the foul, and it's once again a one-point game, a chance for the tie. But first, a timeout on the floor. From the Delta Center, here's Patrick. I feel good. Thank you.
Legendary filmmaker John Frankenheimer has created the television event of the year, the great untold story, The Civil War, Andersonville. Sunday at 8 on TNT.
My first memory of the game was I'd go out 11 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, stay out until like 7 or 8 o'clock that night just to play basketball.
Wintertime, Chicago, me and a couple of my buddies used to go out and shovel the court off and just play this game all day, all night.
Well, I love this game because it's all about showtime. You're out there on the floor, living for the roar of the crowd every time you make a good play.
I love it every time I step on the court because the adrenaline is flowing and the crowd is going. I just love to play this game.
Monday night on Larry King Live, Magic is back, playing the game he loves and opening a chain of movie theaters and living with HIV. A full hour with Irvin Magic Johnson and your calls. Monday night, 9 Eastern on CNN.
1-point game with 6:31 to go in the first quarter, and Derek Harper's going to have an opportunity to tie it when he goes to the free throw line. But first,
well, you can see Derek, he reads the screen and roll real well. Utah does not step out to give Stockton any help because if Stockton's going to follow, Harper's going to have a layup drill. Now, right now, Harper has gotten to the glass for 3 layups, 2 coming out of double teams where they kick the ball out. And as Stockton is running at Harper, he's beating him off the dribble to the rim.
And as Harper's at the line, Greg Ostertag steps in. He wears double zeros. Ostertag is coming off a game on Wednesday versus Washington with 5 blocks and 8 rebounds. He's the rookie from Kansas.
They like the 2 big fellas, and then they'll come with Carr if they need offense.
Hornacek, it's a 3 and maybe a 4.
You just found one of the outstanding foul shooters that we have in the NBA. Hornacek is 3rd in the league at 89%. See, this is one thing you try not to do. Never foul a jump shooter. That's the cardinal sin of defense. And what's worse is that you foul him when he is shooting a 3. Okay.
The old 4-point play opportunity here. Jazz and Knicks were tied at 13. And then in one felled swoop, it's a 4-point, 17-13.
Now, you know, a lot of people say, well, how many times has that ever happened? How about it's happened over 130 times already in the NBA since we put in the 3-point line?
And it's happened sometimes for critical moments late in ball games to win ball games. Karl Malone, a game we did, Karl Malone just lived at the line getting fouled on a 3-point tip late in the game. Of all people, Karl Malone. There's Ostertag, his first foul. Spencer's already sitting down with 2, but they do have, with their 3, and if you count Carr, 4 centers, they do have 24 fouls to use down there.
Absolutely, and they're very confident with any of the guys in the game. Now, you like the Knicks strategy for the road. They're going in almost every other time down the floor to Ewing, and he's getting his move. If not, he's kicking the ball out, and then they are beating him on the penetration. So in the early going, their style of play for a road game has been excellent because it's also getting them to the foul line.
Early entry into the game also for Charlie Ward, who is trying to defend John Stockton at the moment. Matter of fact, he had his hands all over John Stockton. And that's the foul on Charlie Ward. Welcome to the game, Charlie.
Now, that time they gave us another look off this set. And they hit the wing, Stockton cut down, and then he screened across the lane for Malone coming. Now, that's their old bread and butter stuff because they like to bring Karl off of a guard screen.
Ward in the face of Stockton. Ward, a quick defender. Here's Hornacek off the football over Davis. And Jeff Hornacek, just like that, has 6 points in 2 shots.
Now, they ran the same play again using Hornacek, and he was the beneficiary coming up off of a double screen. Beautiful basketball. That's why we tell you, their execution is outstanding.
Ward missing from the perimeter. Rebound. Hornacek. Jazz up 19-15. 5:20 to go in the period. Malone against Mason. There's the illegal defense as Charlie Ward dashes in and out, trying to cover Malone. Some NBA scores from action on this Friday night. Seattle, best record in the West, playing at Boston. Portland at Miami. And Lenny Wilkens going for win number 1,000, trailing his former team, the Cleveland Cavaliers in Atlanta.
And the Cleveland Cavaliers, if we were to start the playoff today, they would be in 4th place, and the Knicks would be in 5th, and Cleveland would have home court advantage. Who are those guys, right?
No kidding.
Great job by Mike Fratelli and his staff, and the team has just been outstanding.
Benoit misses the pull-up jumper, and Howard Isley, who wears number 10, second-year player out of Boston College, and there at guard for Utah momentarily. 4:43 to go in the period. Mason trying to work on Malone in the paint, and does so successfully. Isley, interesting story, handling the ball here. Cut in training camp, went to the CBA.
Well, he was a second-round draft pick at Minnesota a year ago. Played at Minnesota and San Antonio. This year they brought him in here, and they thought, you know what, he really played well for us, but he did not have a guaranteed contract, and someone had to go.
Hubert Davis from Charlie Ward, that's a 2. Charlie Ward, nice ball fakes. Trout wanted to travel, but he found the perimeter genius of Hubert Davis. Tied at 19.
Well, Don Nelson loves what Charlie Ward is doing. Says he has outstanding court vision.
That was a bad pass by Isley. Hornacek couldn't handle it. Knicks come up with a chance to take what would be their first lead of the game. Ewing gives them bad as he takes the same moves as, I don't care whether it's Spencer or Ostertag or Foster. I'm going to do this move.
Now Ostertag blocked that right into the basket. Screen across now, bringing Malone to the ball. Now a back screen for the big fella.
Isley cutting, 7 seconds. Malone. Picture of power, but he misses the shot. Only 3 on the shot clock. And Malone gets the basket. Credit the foul, blame the foul on Lojas, and Malone will go to the line for a 3-point opportunity.
Now this is a beautiful pass by Isley, and then a great move. All right, right there you can see the ball bangs out. Now just watch this. This is quick recognition down inside, and then the mailman delivering. Now for years, 5 straight years in this league, the mailman went to the foul line between 10 and 11 times a game. This year he's at 8+. You got to give him his due because he gets pounded down inside.
You see the 26.5 points scored by Malone. That is second in the NBA to Michael Jordan. Karl has 5 points, 4 rebounds here tonight. 22-21. Utah from the Delta Center.
906 accent clear for takeoff. The critics have praised the Hyundai accent in terms that are lofty, elevated, uplifting, on a higher plane than the competition. So, if you've been looking for something nice in economy class, accent is the only way to fly. The 1996 accent.
It's March Madness time at Adam Chevy Raytown and Adam Chevy Belton. So we're blowing the whistle on high car prices. So it's your chance to score big right now. Get 4.8 financing on all new Chevy Illumina. Get into a 96 four-wheel drive Chevy Blazer for only $21,995. A Chevy S10 for only $92,995. 96 Geo Metro only $69,995. Don't miss March Madness. You'll be out of bounds if you do. Right, Rock? Right, babe.
Hi, I'm Cale Yarborough. You know, on the weekend, a race is an all-day event for me. But getting the yard tuned up has never been an all-day event with Husqvarna's 970 Rider, a 12.5 horsepower mower with articulated steering. And with the Husqvarna 225L trimmer, I can really get through the corners in record time.
Kyle, come on, we gotta go.
Okay, Betty Joe. Set a new record for your lawn maintenance with Husqvarna. Superior value every day.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
We'd like to show you one of the options of this UCLA cut. Now, you're going to see Stockton bring the basketball up, and we're going to freeze it for you right there. Now, once Hornacek gets the ball here, Stockton was bumping back and getting returned fast. But this time he cuts, no layup. He comes across, gets Karl Malone. And then watch Ostertag set a screen as Stockton will come back outside. It's just beautiful continuity. And Hornacek and Stockton are both running the play. They'll go either way.
Lohaus tries the 2. Ostertag rebounds. Hornacek, by the way, 3 out of 3 for 8 points tonight. Stockton 4 assists. Utah scoring pretty easily tonight. Jazz scoring at 56% race from the floor. They've hit 6 of their last 8 shots as of that miss. Davis tried to feed Charlie Ward. Ball's out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Knicks. Malone stepped on the line.
Anytime that you have a cutter going like that with a defensive guy who is trying to stretch himself, it's better to give a bounce pass. If you give a bounce pass, the cutter can see it at the last second, pick it up. Usually the defensive player is playing you high.
Hubert Davis off that curl on the inbound play. Misses. Malone rebounds. That's 5 rebounds for Karl Malone already in this game with 2:44 to go in the period. And the rebound differential for the New York Knicks has been devastating lately. They were out-rebounded the other night 64 to 32.
Beautiful.
Ewing comes up with a loose rebound.
Say, if John Wooden is watching this game tonight, he's very happy because they're running his UCLA set to death.
Mason against Malone. Open man for Davis.
Easy shot. Hornacek got caught turning his head. Beautiful backdoor by Davis, but you must finish those off.
Yeah, I think somebody got their hand on it as he went up. Here's Ostertag put up an underhook, but he didn't finish.
Yeah, this is bunny night. Everyone's missing all the easy shots.
Hubert Davis only 1 of 6 tonight. Mason, they keep going back down here to Mason against Malone, and they're trying to run that cut, as you just saw Ward let Mason alone. He turns around and knocks it down. And Anthony's having a good offensive night with 6.
Well, he's loving that move because he's putting his lead shoulder right into Karl Malone's chest, bumping him back, and then stepping away from him and shooting in his face.
Isley giving Stockton a rest. Stockton, we wanted to remind you, the last game, Stockton has a sore knee, and that may be affecting him some, the reason he's not on the floor right now.
Now, here's the cutter going right through. You can see Hornacek's not even in your picture. That was a nice strip by Malone, and Hubert could not make the catch and the shot.
Knicks up by 1:16 to go in the period. Finish that point about Stockton. He's on the bench, had a swollen knee, had treatment, and missed the shoot-around this move. Davis is fouled. Ostertag raked it loose, but don't count the shot.
Well, the Knicks ran a nice continuity. Stockton has a soreness, a swelling on the right side of his leg, and he said that he was okay. But as we know, we came to shoot-around today. He stepped out of the shoot-around for treatment. But, you know, anytime that you're talking about a guy that through 11 years in his career has only missed 4 games, we're talking about a gamer. A little swelling will never keep him out of there.
501 consecutive games for Stockton.
And Malone at 359. And between the two of them, not bad if you're going to have 2 superstars that they show up night in and night out. And then they only top it off by automatically playing in the All-Star games and then making the All-NBA first and second teams every year.
Charlie Ward knocks down the free throw, and the Knicks are up by 3 and on a 10-3 run. Malone traveled. Then to add insult to injury, missed the jam. And he's not happy as he looks over at Ron Olusiak.
Well, he's been on Olusiak now for a number of calls, or lack of calls, shall we say. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets teed up here.
Hubert Davis only 1 of 6 tonight, running things from the point. At the moment, Charlie Ward running down along the baseline, trying to get free off a screen. But Isley's right with him, 10 on the shot clock. They'll have to try something else. Now down to 7. Lohaus, 5. Mason, 3, 2. Just would have beaten the shot clock. Jazz on the run. Hornacek takes it inside and draws the foul from Hubert Davis. Or Charlie Ward got him first, actually. They both got their hands on. That's Charlie's second.
Well, last time we told you that Hornacek was having a great year on the foul line at 89.7. He's also 7th in the league in threes at 46%. And when you look at Hornacek coming out of high school, he played for his dad in the suburbs of Chicago. His dad is a baseball coach and very successful. This guy was a walk-on at Iowa State. Became a great player there, and then he is drafted in the 2nd round by Phoenix, the 46th pick in '86. And when you think of his career, you automatically say, you know, 15 points, 50% shooter, 86 or 87 on the line, year in and year out. And not bad for a kid who did not have a scholarship to a Big Ten school.
Yeah, but he has never in his career won the slam dunk competition. Just want to keep that balance. Jeff has 10 here tonight. That's, well, of course, he hasn't entered. He might have. Knicks by 1, only 15 seconds in the quarter.
I love what Sloan said about Hornacek one time. He says, whether we're 10 up or 10 down, you can't tell the difference if you look at his face.
Charlie Ward penetrates. Ewing misses right at the last 3 or 4 seconds. It's stolen by Davis. He knocks it in before the buzzer. Count it, Knicks. Knicks up by 3 at the end of the quarter. My goodness, the New York Knicks, Hubert Davis, who was only 1 of 6, came up with a big shot to boost the Knicks as we go away.
The one thing you tell your guys, never assume that the quarter is over. And once that ball kicks out here, keep your head up. Wow, great strip, and then a terrific shot by Hubert Davis.
Charlie Ward with the steal. Knicks with a 3-point lead from the Delta Center in Utah.
TNT Original Motion Pictures. They capture the fire of who we are and who we want to be. Coming this year to TNT, Crazy Horse, Moses, and the biggest film we've ever made, Andersonville. TNT, the best movie studio on television.
These days, you're working harder than ever. You need a truck that does, too. Don't move. Introducing the all-new 1997 Ford F-150. With even more horsepower and torque. And all the legendary strength of an F-Series.
Better get to the Grand Canyon before we do.
The all-new Ford F-150.
Lou Penny?
Hey, what's going on? How's the road trip?
It's all right. What's all that? Are you having a party in my house?
A party? I'm just sitting there reading the book. Hey, caught the game last night. Let me just put it this way. You're the best player in the NBA. I mean, those spin moves and the dunks. Oh, too delicious. I had to go outside and do some Tai Chi just to calm myself down.
Man, you weren't having a party. I swear. If you and your sloppy friends are messing up my house...
Oh, thanks, baby. Meet me by the pool.
Hello?
Hey, I can't talk now. I'm driving through a tunnel.
It's Gus's Guide to the Game. When we're watching hoops, it's all about moves.
Check out my 360 spin.
Ooh.
The pick back and steal.
Around the back, 3-finger dial. Yes. Dominoes.
Sweet move.
Any way you slice it, we've got the pizza for you. Ultimate deep dish, classic hand tossed, or crunchy thin crust. What are you waiting for? Make the call to Domino's.
I just want to point out, there's Hubie on the right, Bob on the left.
Yeah, right.
Look at this move right here. That's me there. There. Oh, my, did we have a good time? I'm still sore, however. Knicks up by 3 to start the second period. Ewing, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 out of 6.
At the end of the first quarter, New York 11 for 24, 46%. Utah 9 for 20, 45%. Knicks with no turnovers, and Utah with 5.
A lot of changes here. Carr, Keith, Morris in for Utah. Starks in for New York. Stockton is back in the ball game. He finds Karl Malone. If Karl Malone were in Los Angeles, he would get him the ball.
Oh, this is smart. Take Starks right back down inside. Post him up. Illegal defense on Ewing. Ewing is saying, my fault. As soon as Karl Malone saw that Starks had him, He threw the ball out, just took him right into the post, realizing the mismatch, and Patrick was trying to help him before the pass was delivered.
How about I keep saying to myself right then, why doesn't Stockton pass it? Well, that's because he's such a great point guard. He knew what was about to happen.
That's right. See, in the NBA, you can only double-team a man if he has the basketball. And Stockton kept faking, and pretty soon Patrick, you're going to see this right now. He sees the mismatch. Now keep an eye in the middle of the lane. See, Patrick is standing there. Stockton is pointing to the referee about Ewing that he's double-teaming.
So he gets the point. Now he's going to go back and have a chance to do this again if he wants to. Carr down low. Chris Morris tries to come off the curl. We've got another foul. It's on John Starks.
Well, Starks had him around the waist. He's not going to allow him to get that curl. What they're doing is they're going to curl a man, and then if he's open, fine. If not, post up Antoine Carr. Excellent post-up player.
Chris Morris into the paint, traveled.
Oh, I don't buy that.
Didn't look like it.
No, that was a two-step, and you're allowed to lift your pivot foot as long as you pass or shoot the basketball.
Keith came back here, almost stole that ball on the inbound pass, but here's Charlie Ward. He's a good penetrator, not this time, though. Down to Ewing.
Hey, the Knicks have done a good job. Once again, there it is to Stockton's man.
There's the penetration. They came back out to start. 8 on the shot clock. 6. Now they call Ewing for palming the ball. My, oh, my.
That's the first palm that I've seen this year. Okay. Cradling doesn't count, right?
Michael Jordan would be in the CBA. Well, maybe not the CBA. Down low, Chris Morris. It's tied.
Now, nice pass by John. John led Morris. If he catches you fronting or playing on the top side, he can make that pinpoint pass.
Mason gets the double team. Open man is Charlie Ward down inside. And Ward, we were talking about his penetration for a little point guard. Charlie Ward is down in the paint underneath the hoop a lot. Antoine Carr is called for the foul.
Well, you can see that the Knicks are taking advantage of John Stockton. Every time he double teams in the first quarter, Harper penalized them, scored 3 layups. In this quarter, already Charlie Ward has been hit with a pass twice in the lane.
Charlie Ward didn't play in the Knicks' loss at Sacramento, but he's been playing well. And here comes Willie Anderson, played in college ball at Georgia, of course. One of the new Knick faces is one of the other new faces. Lohaus sits down. Other scores tonight. Atlanta's pulled to within 1 of Cleveland as Lenny Wilkins goes for win number 1,000, and Charlotte way out in front. Knicks take a 2-point lead once again with 10:28 to go in the first half of play.
See, I like the strategy. Posting Morris. Oh, tough shot by Stockton.
Just if he needs help, they're going to have to jump it.
Excellent defense that time by the Knicks. Give Charlie Ward a lot of credit. Stockton did not beat him off the dribble. And on the spin move, Charlie recovers, and John ends up with a bad shot. See, right now, Morris is going to go away and open up this entire area. Now, you see how John comes? And right there, nice help by Starks.
Now the overrule, and they decide the ball belongs to Utah with 10 on the shot clock. Antoine Carr knocks it down. When we saw them earlier in the year, Antoine Carr could not throw the ball in the ocean off a cliff, but he's playing better lately, and it's tied.
Yeah, they need his scoring for the second unit.
Ward for 3. That was about a 25-footer for Charlie Ward, who has 7 points off the bench. Knicks 32-29. Don Nelson telling us this morning, Hubie, that he really likes the progress of Charlie Ward, says he's right on schedule and becoming a big-time NBA player. Anderson stripped the ball loose. Keith came up with the loose ball and gets the foul.
That was a tough break for the Knicks. A pinpoint pass by Stockton as they trap. The man was open. Now, watch Antoine Carr roll. All right, great pass by Stockton. A terrific strip. Unfortunately, the ball goes right to Adam Keefe. Now, I give this guy a lot of credit. This guy was picked by Atlanta in the first round. Came into camp, too heavy. Never made any kind of a contribution in Atlanta over a couple of years. Came here last year, and got to give him credit. Lost 15 pounds. Now, we're talking about an All-American basketball player at Stanford, as well as an All-American volleyball player, Spiker. And he lost 15 pounds, and he is a different player. You love his numbers. He is the second leading rebounder on this team off the bench.
Nearly 6 a game. We've got a nice one here. 32-32 with 9:32 to go in the half. Out of bounds off Stockton. 13 on the shot clock. I was talking about Charlie Ward when we went into that action there as he comes into the picture here. Nelly's liking him. What is your thinking about his progress?
Yeah, well, you know, it's very tough on guys until you see them when they play, when the game on the line. You know, but he's getting his minutes, and what you like is that they have a lot of confidence in him. He doesn't miss his swing, and that's nice because that will build his gun. He just needs experience.
Stockton's pull-up three, and the Jazz lead by 3.
John Stockton is very selective about his threes. He very seldom takes them in the first quarter, but at the end of the game, he'll always attempt 3 or 4.
He's 10 points, 5 assists already. Mason is fouled. As we look at Stockton again, you say he takes care in selecting them. Sometimes he selects them for game winners, too. Look at that.
Well, the big thing with John is he's shooting 56% right now, and when you think about that, that's 7th in the league from the field.
With that very unorthodox delivery, or was that a clinic we were looking at? Starks drives and fouls.
Now, John has made himself into a great player.
We have the foul. Oh, speaking of buzzer beaters, December 21st, John Stockton. There's 3 of these folks. Wait for the third one, you won't believe. There's the first one. That wins the game. Here's the second buzzer beater versus the Heat, January 8th. Now watch this one with time running out and the defense on him. A lean in, off balance, 3.
Should I say that he's shooting 47% and it's 6th in the league? And the thing you love about him is he could shoot every kind coming down the court because he invariably will beat his man off the dribble. But then you got to look at he's only averaged 11.5 assists every year that he's been in this league. Amazing.
John Starks made them both, and it's 35-34 Utah. 8:50 to go first half. Greg Foster in the game for Utah as he's the 3rd center to play for the Jazz tonight. Milton Spencer started. Here's Carr over Herb Williams, who just came in.
Yeah, you like Herb Williams because he's long at 6'10" with long arms, and always when he was in his prime in the top 10 in shot blocking, you could see he definitely changed that shot by Carr.
Illegal defense, the call. Stockton argues it. Yeah, that's the first one on the Jazz. Jerry Sloan didn't think much of it. Jerry in his 8th year has 402 victories, just quietly wins.
6 years of 50-plus wins, only 1 season where they had 47 in the Western Conference final at playoff time, 2 of the last 5 years.
Mason with the running hook, and it's Knicks by 1, and Anthony has 8. Jerry Sloan, speaking of him, he says he tells his players never play backwards, never look into the past, because you can't fix that. I've got to think about that some myself. Yeah. Down to Antoine Carr against Williams. Williams caused him to miss that shot, and Mason has him on the run. Starks penetrated, but they kick it out to Ward.
The Knicks are not what you would call a blazingly quick team. Stepped out of bounds. Excellent call by Just Kersey. He was right on top of that one. The Knicks have had quite a few opportunities, Bob, in transition, but they have not been able to get the uncontested layup. We have 2 good transition defensive teams here.
New York Knicks have lost 4 in a row. There's been turmoil on their team. They're playing here against the Jazz, who've won 10 in a row at the Delta Center. And we've got a seesaw affair. 37-36 Utah now with 7.5 to go in the first half.
You say, why is Stockton shooting so much? With that first unit, he moves the ball. With the second unit, he's the primary guy out there.
Here's Willie Anderson. He's in his 8th year. Anderson scoring, one of the new faces on the New York Knicks.
Hey, first team All-NBA. First year when he came into this league out of the University of Georgia. And the operations in the league, you know, with those steel rods that he has, it's just amazing that he's playing and playing as well as he is.
Karl Malone getting a rest. Stockton, Morris, Keith, Antoine Carr, and Foster playing currently for the Utah Jazz with 7 minutes to go in the half. Anderson got away with a hold on Keith.
He sure did.
Carr from 16.
Oh, you have to play him. When he was in Sacramento, he had years of 20 points a game, shooting over 50%. That guy can score.
Starks. That's a 3, a pull-up 3.
Now, John Starks used to, during Pat Riley's regime, averaged 7 attempts a game in threes. This year it's cut back to 5, more conservative.
John Stockton gets pushed back on the curl there, the foul against the New York Knicks. We're going to take a timeout here with 6:33 to go.
Robert Urich is the Lazarus Man. Saturday night at 9 on TNT.
There are definite reasons we created Ford Windstar to be the only minivan with available all-speed traction control and 4-wheel anti-lock disc brakes. Reasons it has a wide stance for secure handling and also meets 1998 federal passenger car safety standards. We'd like to show you one more reason, but it's still a month or so away. Introducing the 1996 Ford Windstar, created for the most important people in the world.
We deliver more than cars, just ask Dave and Kim. They came to Cable Dahmer Chevrolet Geo Mazda looking for V8 power, a great ride, and anti-lock brakes. With Cable Dahmer Chevrolet's 8.5 acres of cars, trucks, and vans, plus special good neighbor financing, it didn't take long to find just what they were looking for. So, Dave and Kim, well, they both found just the right Chevy. Come see us at Cable Dahmer Chevrolet Geo Mazda on the Miracle Mile, Nolan Road, Independence.
Well, I think Coach Riley is the type of coach who makes sure that when you're coming into the game, you're well prepared and goes over a lot of things strategically, exactly what we're going to do out there on the court. You know, he never leave anything to chance. And under Coach Nelson, you know, he's more of a relaxed coach, you know, and he do prepare for the game, but he's not as like Coach Riley. You know, Coach Riley goes over a lot of things, and Nelly, he does things a little bit different, but each coach has their own philosophy, and I can understand that, but, you know, right now it's hurting us.
Oh, you can tell that there's problems between Don Nelson and John Starks. Starks says his coaching philosophy is hurting us. Those were the words of John Starks. We understood John wouldn't play at all in this game. He sprained his ankle on Wednesday, but is on the bench and is not what you'd call a happy camper. We'll talk about that more as we go. That pass is raked loose, and Foster can't handle it.
Well, first of all, Starks' minutes are 4 minutes down. His shot attempts are down 3 a game. His three-point attempts are down. And Hubert Davis is playing great basketball. And the coaching staff has said, Hubert Davis, you're playing better than Starks right now. You're ahead of John Starks. That's not sitting well.
And Starks, who's always been a streak player,
absolutely,
is knocking down some shots here in this game tonight. He has 7 points off the bench. You know, as a coach, as soon as you got something going with a player, he's liable to come in and do something like that, which makes it even tougher to get ahead with your relationship. So Starks has knocked down 7 here tonight. Stockton, Foster, fouled by Starks.
Now, this is where you have to always be careful with Starks. Anytime that he makes a catch, he's going straight up. He has excellent strength, and he can shoot that jumper out to 27 feet. Now, you look from last year to this year, you can see that the points are down. The field goal percentage is up, though. The three-point shooting is a wash. But the main thing is the minutes. The minutes are down.
The pass inside and the foul. First of all, before we talk about that, the number 7 in for the Knicks is J.R. Reed. This is his first game back since the suspension of 2 games after Reed knocked out 2 of the teeth of A.C. Green last Sunday versus the Suns.
Now, keep an eye on this right here. Boom. Now, that cost him quite a bit of money. Not only the $10,000 fine, but then you divide 82 games into his salary and then multiply it by 2. So you can see that was a very costly hit. Now, according to the Knicks people, they are saying in the play before that, that A.C. Green hit him right in the kidneys with a vicious elbow. Now, unfortunately, that was not called.
Starks Starks has 10 off the bench. That'll fan the flames. Knicks have their biggest lead, 46-40. Stark defending Hornacek. They're looking for Malone against J.R. Reed. The fadeaway. Rebound, Stockton.
The Knicks have had 2 really unkind bounces in this quarter.
Stockton had 2 games in a row with 7 rebounds apiece. Think of that for John Stockton. And the steal, the all-time NBA leader.
That's where he's at his best. Playing the passing lanes, he is murder. You cannot turn your head and just throw a wobbly pass.
46-44. Stockton with 15 points in this first half. We have 4:21 to go.
Big thing for the Knicks. Stay with what's been good for you, and this play has been good for you. Go power, and then go for your kickouts.
Anderson, the kickout. Starks is going to drive it.
Bad shot.
And that'll happen. Shot clock violation, and here you're looking at the greatest steal man in the history of the league.
See, now once you just throw a pass without looking, he's there. And you know he gets so many strips as he goes down inside anytime on a post-up man.
And on Tuesday, February 20th, John Stockton put his names in the book. That was steal number 2311 versus Boston as he passed Maurice Cheeks to become the NBA all-time steal leader. Under 4 minutes to go in the half. Knicks by 2. Carr fake Ewing and drives it home to tie the game.
Antoine is having a very productive quarter. But he's showing us a lot of moves. Back to the basket. Facing jump shot. Beautiful ball fake. Take it strong.
Harper attempted the drive but was fouled first. First foul on Stockton. There's J.R. Reed back off the suspension. J.R. Reed, one of the players traded. Reed and Lohaus came in the trade for and a first for Charles Smith and Monty Williams.
Now just watch this ball fake right there. Head ball fake and then take it strong. Dunk it. And now you say, oh, why do you dunk it? You always dunk it strong so that the next time Patrick Ewing would think twice of running at you, giving you a wide open jump shot.
That's the third on Antoine Carr. Felton Spencer is going to come back into the ballgame momentarily for the Utah Jazz. We're tied at 46 as Keith goes to the free throw line. Charles Smith down in San Antonio as Ewing shoots the free throws for J.R. Reed. And Charles Smith only played 11 minutes in the last game down there for San Antonio. Don't hear anything about any injury or anything.
Yeah, well, you have to always say that it will tie in with his knees or maybe something happened in the game. Patrick is having a great year. He's 10th in scoring. He's 9th in rebounding at 10 a game. And he's 6th in block shots at 2.5. In spite of it all, he is playing and having a solid season.
12 points tonight for Patrick. 3:21 to go in the half. Into Felton Spencer. Blocked by Patrick. Reed keeps it alive to start.
There he is.
Stockton steals it. Utah ball.
What a great play by Stockton. He took a chance here. He could get run over on this play. Now just watch this. On the kick out, you're going to see, there it is right there. Boom, he gets a piece of it with his foot. The foot hits the ball, ricochets off there, Willie Anderson.
Harper trying to defend Stockton has 15 in the half.
Right now, Reed and Malone are really in a Brahma bull fight.
Didn't go in for Malone, but he draws the foul.
Well, he's upset, see, because he's getting pounded down inside.
You know, it's a real heavyweight battle, but J.R. Reed's had, what, like 3 recent KOs.
Yeah, well, you know, the night that he put away A.C. Green, a couple nights before that, he split up Christian Leitner with an elbow, caught him for 5 stitches. A week before that, a flagrant foul on George Zedek and put him down. So, you know, he's had some major problems.
Karl Malone misses the free throw, but he hasn't missed many, nor has he missed many games. Karl Malone, here's the biography of a surefire Hall of Famer.
And because he's on the foul line, I want to bring up a point. He has attempted over 8,000 foul shots. He passed that mark this year. Only 9 guys in the history of the NBA have attempted over 8,000 foul shots.
And with that, 7-7 on the night for Malone. Knicks by 1. Just under 3 to go in the first half. Nice game going here tonight. Knicks on a 4-game losing streak.
Knicks are executing well and staying within their game plan. That was a late whistle, and that's why we're getting the boos. But he was pounded twice on that move.
Adam Keefe being physical down low, called for the personal foul.
On the court, let's welcome back to The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer, and by Pep Boys. 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price.
Every few years, the world gathers to witness an unparalleled sports spectacle, the Truckathlon. And to compete, you have to have a Ford Ranger 4x4, because you'll need its switch-on four-wheel drive for truck long jump. It's four-wheel anti-lock brakes for truck discus. And it's whopping 4-liter V6 for truck hurdles. The Ford Ranger 4x4. You can't win without one.
Next event, truck pole vault. Yes!
When it broke, he didn't make her wait a week to look at it, or give her the runaround about a missing part. He just fixed it right the first time, and for a very reasonable price. And that's pretty much the way ASC certified technician Wes Schaefer and everyone at Pep Boys does business. For service and repairs the way you deserve it, day or night, even on Sundays, come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
There are tough choices to make every day. Even as a kid, I had to make some hard decisions. I remember this gang was going to start a fight and wanted me to come with them. I was scared to say no.
Where you going, man?
Come with us.
Man.
But I was even more afraid of where I'd end up if I went along. Sometimes it's hard to stand alone. I know, because that's what I had to do.
This time of year, this is the place to be. The beautiful Wasatch Mountain Range, downtown Salt Lake City, 40 minutes away from some of the best skiing in the world. Lovely area, great to be out here. Knicks up by 1, 2:46 to go until the Reebok halftime report. Don Nelson dresses up with the Tommy Hilfiger connection. Now, since I mentioned that, QB, did we get a share in any of that? I don't know.
Oh, he's definitely dressing much better this year.
Yeah.
No more fish ties or Converse sneakers.
He gave me a fish tie. I have it hidden somewhere at home.
Now, the Knicks right now are getting great production by their bench. They've outscored Utah 20-11 in this first half. Charlie Ward with 7 and Starks with 10 leading the attack. Now, anytime that Utah plays a great game, their bench just runs roughshod over the opposition.
2:36 to go. Knicks by 3 in the half. Nearly turned it over. 10 on the shot clock. 4. Traveling called on Keith. Utah turning it over more in this game than they usually do.
Well, they're one of the best teams that we have in the league for fewest turnovers. They're 6th. But tonight, we are having a lot of trouble. They already had 8. But remember now, Knicks, good half-court defensive team.
J.R. Reed, defended by Malone and Keith. Kick out, open man, Anderson.
Well, Willie can knock him down. He's like Starks. He's a streak shooter, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. Here's a little half-court trap, a 2-3 half-court trap. Stockton just went right away from it. Now they're back into a matchup man-to-man.
Stockton so many times can break those traps by himself in the open floor.
Well, that's the first time that they've given him that look, Bob. Nelly said that it was going to be a part of the game plan. Maybe they'll get to it more in the second half. What you're trying to do is to get him to waste some time. So you see the two guys right? They're going to go over half court. See Stockton just steps back, and he's looking, trying to gauge, and now they go. And they say, well, what'd they do? Well, they just wasted 2 or 3 seconds.
And he goes to the free throw line. Foul is on Derek Harper. Scores tonight. Seattle now leading Boston in Massachusetts. Portland way out in front of Miami. That's down in South Beach. Speaking of a team with new faces. And Lenny Wilkins Hawks beating the former Lenny Wilkins Cavs so far. And Lenny looking for win number 1,000 tonight. Knicks by 3. J.R. Reed starts. Ewing finds Derek Harper over in the corner, who missed it. Ewing lost it. Reed has it raked away by Malone. New shot clock, though.
He deserved that. He deserved that shot. He battled very, very hard inside. Keep that ball alive.
Knicks up by 5. Biggest lead's been 6.
Well, right now, see, Utah, they're not getting any easy second shots. They're not getting any fast break baskets.
J.R. Reed got his hands on that. And I almost had my hands on that. Those are my hands. You saw it on the bottom.
Not like baseball, Bob.
That was great.
It's not like baseball where you keep the ball. Here, you have to give it back.
I was right there. Right there. One chance. That's all there. Thanks for letting us show that. A 5-second violation, and the ball goes over to New York. How long has it been since we've seen that call? 5-second inbound violation. Harper was mugged.
Got to get it out.
48 seconds to go in the half. Utah having trouble scoring. That's something they haven't had trouble doing all year.
And Karl realized that. He took that ball right into the chest of the defender and knocked him right on the floor.
That's Karl's first personal foul with 41 seconds remaining in the half.
See, he's frustrated tonight. He's not getting very many clean looks at the basket because they are bumping him, and it's getting very rough down inside.
A long shot by Ewing over Felton Spencer. Offensive board for the Knicks. A new shot clock. They can tick this thing down. There's only about 5 seconds left in the half before they shoot, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, but if you're the Utah right now, you know, make or miss, you're going to be able to push the ball and get a good shot.
There's 5.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
I'm sure Don Nelson just loved the John Starks long-distance pull-up.
Hey, he was just working to loosen up the ankles in that because he was elevating there.
Crowd was already booing because of his fancy between-the-leg dribbling. Then when he threw up the near-air ball, they loved it. Stockton gives it up to Malone. At the buzzer, doesn't fall. Knicks by 5 points. But John Stockton has had a tremendous half. 17, 7, and 2 for John.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming a special countdown honoring marquee.
It all comes down to this, the final game.
How does Shaquille O'Neal get fired up for a game? With the scorching new 4-alarm double-decker taco from Taco Bell. It's the hottest new way to bring soft and crunchy together in one big fiery taste.
What a game! Shaq is on fire!
The new 4-alarm double-decker taco, only at Taco Bell.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
My life is busy. I'm not a hermit crab. I go all over. But MCI Friends and Family's calling card discount only covered my calls to home. So I got AT&T True Reach Savings. It's the only way I can save 25% on every type of call on my AT&T phone bill, no matter who I call in the U.S.
AT&T True Reach Savings. Save 25% when you spend just $25 a month.
I never stop. Why should my savings?
AT&T True Reach Savings. That's your true choice. AT&T.
Don't get me wrong. When I'm banging them inside, lighting them up outside, hitting from the corner, at the line, above the rim, and down the hole. I'm not hot dogging. I'm just marking my territory. This is my planet.
Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
The Knicks have lost 4 in a row. The Jazz have won 11 straight at home. So go figure. 54-49, the Knicks with the lead. Ernie Johnson, Reggie Theus in Atlanta with the Reebok Halftime Report. They are 9-0 since the All-Star break, and if it hadn't been for a 3-point loss in Dallas on the 1st of February, the Sonics would be riding an 18-game winning streak. As it is, they've won 11 straight and can match the franchise high with a win in Boston tonight. Seattle took the Celtics by 39 the first time around in December, and they got out of the gate quickly tonight. Sean Kemp, check it out. Why'd we slow it down? Because Kemp comes down and sprains his left foot. Left the game, questionable as to whether or not he will return before the end of the evening. Boston's David Wesley goes where Kemp would have been, right through the paint, and lays it in for a couple. And ML Carr is thrilled because at the half it was a 58-58 game. And into the third period now, Seattle has forged an 8-point lead at the Fleet Center, trying to make it 12 straight wins, a franchise record. The Golden State Warriors and the Chicago Bulls at the United Center tonight. You got to get back on defense, guys. Sprewell hits it, but the Worm has got Ron Harper in his sights, and Harper lays it in for the bunny. That's a deuce. Michael, air ball. Michael took off down the other end of the court and came back when the Worm got the board and pays off the glass for a couple. Chicago with a 6-point lead. B.J. Armstrong in his return to Chicago, knocking down a 3-pointer. Golden State was down by 3 after 1. Into the second period now, the Bulls on top 34-23. They are trying to go 27-0 at home. Into the second period, Scottie Pippen has yet to scratch, and that's nothing new. Lately, the cold symptoms for Scottie. In the last 4 games, 15 points, 29% field goal percentage, only 15% from 3-point range for Scottie Pippen. Very un-Scottie-like numbers, Reg.
Hey, give the guy a break. I mean, everybody hits the wall at some point in the season, and this is what's happening to Scottie. I talked to assistant coach Jim Clemens today, and he said Scottie's just banged up just like the whole team is. He hasn't had any time to recover from his nagging injuries because the Bulls have been on the road like 11 out of the last 14 games. And remember, every time they go to a different arena, this is that team's biggest game, so they really never get any rest at all.
And it just goes to show you, too, that when you've got some depth and you've got some other guys who can fill it up, like Tony Kukoc.
Yes, no question. Tony Kukoc. Jim Clemens told me that Tony Kukoc is playing great basketball, and in his 3rd year, he is the ideal 6th man. He can play 3 spots, take you inside, play outside, and also in his 3rd year, this is what they expect out of him. They expect him to be able to pick his spots and become that guy when Michael or Scottie is having trouble.
And he was the key last weekend when they beat the Orlando Magic, hitting 6 3-pointers. When we come back, we're going to spotlight a couple of coaches here on the Reebok Halftime Report. Lenny Wilkins, for instance, taking aim at career win number 1,000 against one of his former teams. And oh, Nelly, Don Nelson learns how to dress for success.
Hi, I'm Tommy Hilfiger. Find out how I turned Don Nelson into a real fashion plate. Coming up next.
Mi amor, parece diferente esta noche.
Que no terminé de tipear el informe mensual de marketing. Es un plomo y me están presionando.
No te lo puedo creer. ¿Todavía no has oído hablar del nuevo software de reconocimiento de voz de IBM? Vos simplemente le hablas y te lo escribe automáticamente.
Estoy anonadada.
Centuries ago, a toy maker set out to build the perfect puzzle box. Now, centuries later, a scientist has unlocked its secret. Welcome to Oblivion. And the battle for the future of mankind is about to be fought across the boundaries of time. Now, it is time to play. Hellraiser Bloodline. Rated R. Starts Friday, March 8th at theaters everywhere.
In Murray, Utah, a lot of folks like to work on their cars themselves. And they come to AutoZone because they know they'll find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and helpful people like Rick Perry. Now, Rick's been around cars all his life, so he knows a thing or two about looking up parts and solving problems. And whether it's selling new parts or testing old ones, he's always glad to help. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Dave has a dilemma. What to put on Wendy's new bacon cheeseburger?
Hey, something mild. Play it safe. Come on, don't be a wimp. Give it some zing. Oh, no, Gouda would be nice. Spice it up. How about pepper jack? Oh, my.
Well, Dave started cooking. A quarter pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon, the perfect sauce, and a slice of pepper jack cheese for a bacon cheeseburger that's really spicy.
Oh, Dave, be careful. Mind your own business. Attaboy.
Wendy's new pepper jack bacon cheeseburger.
It's gotta be the cheese.
Welcome back to our Atlanta studios in the Reebok halftime report. Knicks on top of the Jazz, 54-49. You know, Lenny Wilkens has been at this coaching biz a long time. This is his 23rd NBA season on the bench, and every time he wins a game, he sets a new record. Right now, he's sitting on 999. More than 300 of those wins came in his Cleveland days. Tonight, trying to use the Cavs to get to number 1,000. Looked good early. Mookie ahead of the field for a couple. They're up by 5 after 1. Fratello's guys come back to Dan Marley inside to Tyrone Hill. And Atlanta's response, the Plastic Man. As Mookie finds Stacey Augmon for 2 of his 10 first-half points. Still, Atlanta only scored 14 points in the second quarter. They were down 1 at the break, and now after 3 quarters, just starting the fourth, the Hawks with a 57-46 lead. They are 12 minutes away from giving Lenny Wilkens career win number 1,000. How have things changed around in the Eastern Conference playoff picture? New York on February 1st had home court in the first round. No, they do not. Cleveland has moved into that space, and Atlanta is really breathing down New York's neck for the number 5 spot. Knicks head coach Don Nelson has never been accused of being a slave to fashion. Remember those fish ties and tennis shoes in Milwaukee? Yeah. Well, a move to New York has done wonders for his wardrobe now that a real pro is dressing him. Last spring, when Pat Riley walked away from the Big Apple and headed to South Beach, he took his Armani wardrobe with him. So New York turned to the successful yet sartorially challenged Don Nelson. Enter men's fashion designer / New York Knicks fan, Tommy Hilfiger.
My lawyer, Tom Curtin, represents Bill Bradley. And Bill was telling Tom that he was in on the meeting with the Knicks and Don via phone and gave us the news that Don had been signed. And my lawyer said, boy, we ought to get Tommy to dress him. Knowing Riley had been dressed by a designer, we thought it would be great to dress Don. So Don's lawyer, I guess, contacted him, and they talked about it, and we got together, and I think we hit it off pretty well.
Yeah, we sure did. I knew coming to New York I needed help. Nelly's metamorphosis has been greeted so well that he and Hilfiger took part in a recent GQ fashion spread. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You know, I very seldom have ever looked in the magazine, to be quite honest with you, because I've never been up to date. But I sent one to my mother and my sisters. Everybody's getting a kick out of it. So what does Hilfiger make of his star pupil?
He really looks very close to a lot of the models you'll see in GQ. Longer lines, a little bit more fitted, good shoulder shape, and at the same time, he's using his arms a lot, so we wanted to give him enough movement in the jacket so it would be comfortable.
Slenderizing is important.
That's true. You look great.
However, the line has been drawn at boxer ads.
I don't think he's going to pull down his pants in front of the camera.
While the designer has turned the coach into a clothes horse, can Nelson turn Hilfiger into a ball player? I've never seen him really do more than shoot, but I'd like to get him in a game of 3-on-3, and I'd like to be on the other side. As Nelly leaves Hilfiger's office for another night at the office, the NBA is singing a new tune towards his once disheveled style. Styling has become vogue for NBA coaches. PJ's got Donna Karan and ML Carr, Joseph Abboud, and Dougie's got Calvin Klein. You see the whole list there. John Luke is doing Versace, and David Ricky doing Dunleavy, and Armani, of course, doing Pat Riley. The way it works here in the TNT studios, of course, is that when they get too old for Reggie, he just hands them down to me, and that's worked out nicely. How about Nelly's transition to New York as we get semi-serious for a second?
You know, see, I remember Nelly back in the Milwaukee days because I was in Chicago then, and really, Nelly was the original tennis shoe pimp. I mean, this guy, he was just bad. I mean, but I think that Nelly's transition to New York is going to be a good one. This is a beer and popcorn guy, a blue-collar guy that'll sit down and have a beer with just about anybody in New York, and I think the fans really will like that about him. Also, dumping, you know, the contracts and also, you know, the fact that the Knicks are looking for next year, I think really, and injuries have really taken a lot of the pressure off Nelly.
And fashion-wise, Nelly's closet no longer a frightening place to be. Pat Riley's sense of fashion has never been called into question, but sometimes it's tough to look good when your team isn't. Riles didn't change his tailor, but did change his team with a series of trades before the deadline, and Miami's poised for a playoff push. Tonight, the Heat at home with the Blazers, who have lost 8 out of 9 since the break, and this is a team that looks like it's in disarray, not just on this trip, as Walt Williams gets it started for Miami, and then Rex Chapman hits Walt to finish it. Portland's Arvydas Sabonis. The guy has got some serious skills, the 31-year-old rookie. Has Alonzo flat-footed in the hook. Finds the twine. 40-33 Blazers, and Rumeal Robinson. This guy has really stepped up with Rod Strickland AWOL. 76-58, Portland with the lead in the fourth quarter at the Miami Arena. Rod Strickland's still not around. It's cost him $140,000 so far, like $28,000 a game. Let's talk about the situation with the Blazers now. And is Rod going to come back? What's up?
You know, I mean, we could buy some serious clothes for that kind of money. It's amazing. You know, I talked to Portland's GM, Bob Whitsitt, and, you know, he says they're not at an impasse. They're continuing talking. You know, he's promised Rod that there would be, you know, no day-to-day discussions in the newspaper about this thing. But it's very, very serious situation.
How close did they come to trading him? Did they try seriously to get him out of there?
Well, you know, Bob Whitsitt is the same guy who put this Seattle Supersonic team together. He says, yeah, Reggie, we could have dumped him when his lawyer came in the day before the deadline of the trades, but we would have gotten nothing for him. It takes a lot of time to trade a guy that gets you 20 and 10. And if I did that and got nothing for him, people would think I was a fool.
Is it just coincidence, Reggie, that Clifford Robinson's numbers are boom, boom, with Rod Strickland not running the show?
Well, I think it's definitely a problem because he's used to Rod getting him the ball in certain places. And also, Bob Witz has told me that, you know, he's been up and down. He has a tendency to go south for 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
The Blazers have fallen out of the playoff picture for the time being. At least they do lead, however, tonight in Miami. 4 other games are on the NBA schedule tonight. Let's run through them real quickly at the break. The Hornets up by 11 at the Target Center. Detroit and Phoenix, they're just about to tip things off out at America West. Later tonight, the Dallas Mavericks playing the Grizzlies at the Garage in Vancouver. And it's the Bullets and the Lakers at the Great Western Forum. At the Delta Center tonight, it is 54-49. The Knicks leading the Jazz, and at halftime, they are honoring 7'4" Mark Eaton, one of the league's all-time shot blockers. Led the league 4 times, one of only 3 players with more than 3,000 blocks in his career, and his number 53 is going in the rafters. He can probably just reach up and put it there himself.
No one knows why they play Follow the Leader, but at least we know who they've been following. Sea-Doo, the best-selling boat in the world.
This has a good bounce, and this has a good bounce. Holiday Inn has comfortable beds, and Ramada has comfortable beds. You can get a good night's rest here, and you can get a good night's rest here. But a good night's sleep here will almost always cost you more than a good night's sleep here. And maybe that's why last year, 23 million people chose Ramada over Holiday Inn. All things being equal, we're better. So call 1-800-2-RAMADA.
And welcome back. Get a load of this. 34 years ago tomorrow.
He's got it. He's trying to get up. He shoots. No good. The rebound, Luckenbill. Back to Chamberlain. He shoots up. No good. In and out. The rebound, Luckenbill. Back to Rucklick. Into Chamberlain. He made it. He made it. He made it. A different dunk.
Yes, indeed. Wilt the Stilt doing that 100-point thing. Among active players, the high water marks. David Robinson had 71. Did it on the last day of the season to clinch the scoring title a couple years back. Michael's got 69, and you see the rest. Malone, Reggie Miller, and Glenn Rice. This season, 3 guys have gone 50-plus. Mahmoud, Mayo Man, and the Dream, all with 51 points this year. Some folks out there probably never got a chance to see Wilt Chamberlain play. We did. What are your thoughts on Wilt?
Well, you know, Wilt was the classic big man. You know, most of the guys these days, you know, centers try to be guards, and they're playing the perimeter game. But Wilt took you down low. He had the 4-foot backwards finger roll. You remember that. You know, and would dunk on you, clean the middle up. You know, you did not do anything in the middle without Wilt say so. Also, he's a guy like Shaq who had problems with his free throws, but Wilt almost shot his free throws from the top of the key.
He had just that little flip. I remember watching him play. Yeah, they'd play at Georgia Tech, where the Yellow Jackets play now. The Hawks used to play there. I used to go down there and watch Jerry West and Elgin and Wilt Chamberlain come to downtown.
The guy's still in great shape. Plays volleyball every day. I've played volleyball with him on many occasions, and just one of the strongest men that ever played this game.
He certainly was a delight to watch. Remember, later tonight, folks, right after the Knicks and the Jazz, we're going to bring you inside the NBA, and among the stories you'll see, life after the trades. The newest members of the Heat try to get their South Beach bearings, and Craig Sager tags along. And that's inside the NBA after the Knicks and Jazz. They got another half to play at the Delta Center, and the Jazz got to come back. They're down 54-49.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, "This is my planet"?
This is my planet.
You and I have a lot in common. I look at you, I see myself.
Pay too much for auto supplies and you'll feel like one too. At Pep Boys, 445,000-mile tires, just $139. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
It all comes down to this, the final game.
How does Shaquille O'Neal get fired up for a game? With a scorching new 4-alarm double-decker taco from Taco Bell. It's the hottest new way to bring soft and crunchy together in one big fiery taste.
What a game! Shaq is on fire!
The new 4-alarm double-decker taco, only at Taco Bell.
Is it hot in here, or is it just...
The future is clearly at your fingertips. You just have to look hard to find it. Today's professionals look to the eye care experts at Blue Springs Optical. Their certified staff will help find the perfect look, fit, and style that best suits you. And with their in-store lab, your glasses will be ready for work tomorrow. Eye exams are available, so call for your appointment today. Focus on the future with Blue Springs Optical.
It's March Madness time at Adams Ford Belton, and we're blowing the whistle on high car prices. It's your chance to score big right now. Get 4.8 financing or $600 rebate on Ford Taurus, Ford Escort, Ford Ranger, Ford Aerostar, Ford Aspire, Ford Contour, Ford Probe, or T-Bird. And get 4.8 financing or $1,000 rebate on Ford Windstar. Don't miss March Madness. You'll be out of bounds if you do. Right, Rock? Right, Ray.
Well, the New York Knicks defense has shown up. Utah was held to no field goals the last 4 minutes of the first half. New York outscored Utah 8-3 to break a 46-46 tie. And at halftime, the Knicks are up by 5. And Kevin Kiley talked to who I would guess would be a happy Don Nelson.
Coach, you've held Malone to 7 points, but Stockton has 17 and 7 assists.
Boy, Stockton's been tough for us to handle. He's setting us up so well. It seems like no matter what we try to take away from him, he finds something else. But sometimes it's almost better if he scores than passes. I mean, I think I would make that exchange. We can keep Malone down and have him score. It might be to our benefit.
There's been some talk about John Stark's minutes. You gave him some minutes. He gave you some points. Are you happy with the way he's playing?
Yeah, I'm shocked that he could even play. I mean, he has a very badly sprained ankle. And I didn't think he'd be able to play at all, but it looks like it had very little effect on him. He's playing very well. I really like him coming off the bench when he plays with that kind of energy.
Tempo's been in your favor. Any changes in the second half?
No, as a matter of fact, we're following our game plan perfectly. I couldn't ask for more. We're just doing a real good job both ends of the floor, and we want to keep it going.
All right, Don. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Bob.
And back to the Delta Center. 5-point lead for the New York Knicks. And Don Nelson talked to you and I this morning and said that his team, is on a 4-game losing streak. He said, I'm going to make some changes. He told us what he wanted to try to accomplish, and you agree with him. He's accomplished it pretty well.
Yeah, and they're really taking advantage of Stockton all night long here on the double team. And the fact that Ward and Harper have 12 points between them, that's almost a wash. But the big thing with Utah, 9 turnovers. The bench is being humbled, 25-11. And then the fact that Karl Malone only has 7 shots, and more important, very few clean looks at the basket. They've got to straighten that out at halftime.
Yeah, I thought Don Nelson said something very significant when he says, we'll take Stockton scoring. Holding Malone down makes me a lot happier. We'll see what happens in the second half. We'll come back here for the second half to the Delta Center in Utah right after this.
From the time you get the ball, you're looking for that crack in the defense. The eye contact with a teammate, that split second when the defender turns his head. You see it all. And when that moment comes, when you thread the needle just right, all you can think about is getting the ball back and doing it all over again.
Anybody can service automobiles, but you're going to be able to take care of the customer. You describe the legend in your
over bumps, or do you
definitely over a bump? They come in to see me because they need something to be fixed. They want me to take care of them. Everybody has different problems. Everybody has different needs. See the way I was going this? Move it back. The quality care standards. It just opens up that communication, lets people know that we care.
Quality care people, quality care standards at your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer.
When it broke, he didn't make her wait a week to look at it or give her the runaround about a missing part. He just fixed it right the first time and for a very reasonable price. And that's pretty much the way ASC certified technician Wes Schaefer and everyone at Pep Boys does business. For service and repairs the way you deserve it, day or night, even on Sundays, come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
How does Shaquille O'Neal get fired up for a game? With the scorching new 4-alarm double-decker taco from Taco Bell. It's the hottest new way to bring soft and crunchy together in one big fiery taste. The new 4-alarm double-decker taco, only at Taco Bell.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
In case you're wondering why we've had such a long halftime, Mark Eaton had his jersey retired here. Governor of the state, a lot of his former teammates, celebrities, family here. Big, wonderful moment at the Delta Center. Let's take a look at the halftime story with the Knicks up by 5, 54-49. As Hubie already pointed out to you, the Knicks 25-11 off the bench, and the Jazz with the 10-5 turnover. Jazz, unusual number of turnovers. Other stats here, field goal percentage, and the comparison of the matchup we talked about at the beginning of the ballgame.
Yeah, you have to really give Mason a lot of trouble. And then also Reed. He came in, and they banged Malone around, and he just couldn't free himself up.
Patrick Ewing, good first half. Patrick, 12 points.
Now, this is just a terrific move. Very seldom will he take it all the way from that distance. And he knows that Spencer lacks the lateral movement. Now, Mason also chimed in. He had 8 points and 3 rebounds, but he did a nice job in breaking down the defense off the dribble. Now, Stockton had a great half for Utah. He's coming in here with the 17 points. He's 6 for 8. Here's his only steal of the half, 4 for 5 on the line. So he's had a nice half for points, but give the Knicks their due because they are taking advantage of John every time that he's double teaming, and they're beating him back in the rotation. Now, Starks, that is one of his 2 threes in that half, came off the bench with a big 10, as well as Willie Anderson came in with a big 6, and Charlie Ward with 7.
Scoring leaders for the Knicks are Ewing, Starks, and Anthony Mason. We have a 5-point Knicks lead. Knicks on a 4-game losing streak. As you look at the Jazz scoring leaders at the half, the significant number there is Karl Malone with only 7. Karl, the second leading scorer in the NBA. Crowd on their feet, back into action here, cheering on their Jazz. The
Utah Jazz have won 10 in a row here at the Delta Center. New York beat the Jazz in their first meeting this year, 121-10 at Madison Square Garden. But the Jazz won 5 of the last 6 between these two teams, down 5 to start the second half.
Nice ball movement here. The Knicks, you know, they got double teamed. They reversed the ball. They're finding the people.
House back down to Ewing. 5 on the shot clock. Good defense on Patrick Ewing on that sequence, and Stockton gets the rebound.
That's the first time all evening that Utah has been able to stay with them with all of the rotations and not get beat off the dribble.
Looking for Malone in the post against Mason. Malone opens up with a quick 2, and here's Kevin Kiley.
Bob, I talked to Jerry Sloan and the staff at halftime for Utah. They said they were concerned because the Knicks were getting to the basket. They had to play more aggressive defense. I asked about 7 points for Karl Malone in the first half, and they said that'll take care of itself. Back to you.
Is the call.
Well, you can see, Brady, they came right out first play, go into Carl Strong, and see he just freezes Anthony right there. Anthony was late on the pressure, but it's something that you have to worry about because Malone will take you right into the paint.
I think it's significant Mark Eaton having his jersey retired. There wouldn't be much penetration when Mark Eaton was standing.
Absolutely not. Mainly when he put up his arms at 7'4", 295, he blocked out the lights from up above. Everyone used to say, take him off the dribble, he has slow feet, except his arms were so long. It seemed like he covered the entire painted area.
Don't count that basket. That's 11 turnovers now as Stockton stepped on the line. Hornacek knocks it out of bounds. That's 14 on the shot clock, 13.
See, the Knicks are playing Brad Lohaus at the small forward position. He's 6'11", but just think about it. In the entire season, he has played in 41 games, and he has attempted 3 foul shots, and none with the Knicks. So what you get out of him is a perimeter spot-up guy who's looking for the three-point shot. He's not going to get to the foul line. So anytime the ball is rotated to him, all you have to do is get out and jam him. There's no threat of him taking it to the basket.
Looking at Ron Olisiak, the official, they reset the shot clock. 16 seconds. That's what it took, about 16 seconds.
Harper's just trying to improve his angle.
Hubert Davis struggling tonight from the perimeter. Spencer carrying 2 personals with the rebound.
Hubert is now 2 for 8. Totally uncharacteristic because he's having a sensational shooting here.
Benoit, Malone, Spencer, Hornacek, Stockton, starters for Utah.
Screen and roll.
Illegal defense called against the New York Knicks.
See, at that time, they trap the screen and roll, but they catch the rotating guy standing in the painted area. Now, right now, Don Nelson is testing Ron Olisiak about the angles, okay? Now, you notice he's not too hot about it, so what he's trying to do, he's trying to set him up so that the next time they do this stuff, maybe they can get away.
Yeah, you're saying that as though, I don't want to accuse you of anything, as though setting up an official for something may have been in your repertoire.
Same as baseball, you just keep chirping. And you know what's always great? One night you chirp and you say a lot of, 4-letter words. Another night you chirp and you haven't said one word. You get 2 technicals and you're gone.
You're in the locker room.
Depends upon the guy and his mood.
Hornacek just threw that up there with the shot clock running down. We have a loose ball foul, and it's going to be on Utah. Melvin Spencer. That's his 3rd, too.
Yeah, Bob, you made a great point in the opening tonight when you said that they've won 10 in a row at home. They have won 16 out of 20.
There's the technical on Spencer.
Yeah, it was inevitable. Utah has been right on the line from getting a technical in it with a number of guys, not just one guy.
Speaking of playing at home, though, and playing well at home as they shoot the technical free throw here, Utah's point differential at home is nearly 12. I believe it's something like 11.6 per game at home. I mean, unbelievable difference.
Well, on the road, Utah is only 15-13 this year.
51-55, Utah down 4, 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. New York Knicks trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. This is the last game of their West Coast trip. Stockton down. Harper gives it up to Davis on the penetration.
Nice.
Good pass. Do they have time? Yes, Ewing. Hornacek with the rebound. He's had a couple of big rebounds here tonight.
Another turnover. You know what's interesting about that play, Bob, was the ability of Anthony Mason to make the pass. But if I'm Nelson, I would have rather if Anthony would have just finished the play himself. Take it up strong. You're talking, 6'9", 250.
Ewing misses it again, and Karl Malone with his 8th rebound. Stockton is fouled by Derek Harper.
Well, you have to play him. You could see what he did there. That was a beautiful dribble, head fake, gets Harper up in the air, and you say, well, why are you playing him out there? Well, we told you earlier, the guy's shooting 47% threes. You just cannot give him the uncontested shot.
17 points at the half. Looking for 18 at the free throw line, John Stockton.
John is first in the league in assists. Everyone knows that, 11-3. He's 6th in the league in threes at 47. He's 7th in the league in field goal percentage at 56. You say, well, what's the big deal with this guy? In the last 12 years, only 7 players have finished. 7 times a guard has shot over 50%. He has done it 4 of the 7 times in 12 years.
Averages nearly 16 a game, and he's hitting 19 here tonight. So he's really having an offensive performance. And as Don Nelson said, though, as long as they can keep holding Malone down, that'll be okay with the Knicks. Here is Benoit.
See, the small forward position is not giving him anything tonight. No points. Well, the 2 of them knocked him down. When you have 2 guards who shoot 46 and 47% in threes, you know that you're always putting pressure on guards who are trapping and rotating.
7-1 Utah run. Hubert Davis puts an end to that with a triple. Jazz had taken the lead by 1. Now they trail by 2, 58-56. 11 lead changes in this game. Mason, see how well he handles it in the open court.
Well, if he passes, you should go right to the rim.
Into the corner sits Derek Harper. That's a 2. Knicks looking energized here tonight.
Yes, they are.
This road trip.
Yeah, and for the end of the trip, Bob, that's out of the ordinary.
Lost 985 Wednesday.
I like the way they're playing because they're really running good stuff here tonight.
Spencer kept it alive with the rebound. New shot clock for Utah, trailing by 4.
Now, Utah only had 4 offensive rebounds in the first half. Now, that had to be
a foul on Ewing.
Yeah, now, right now, Patrick is upset with that call. And I would be upset also. Because Patrick had the space.
He took it right to him.
Took it right to him, initiated the contact, and then threw the shot. Now, just watch this. See, Patrick is here. Boom. That's an offensive foul. In New York, it would have been a charge.
Sure, even had his shoulder tucked. Nevertheless. And,
you know what Carl said? Will you keep quiet? Mason got 2 baskets in the first half by bumping into my chest.
Patrick Ewing was talking to Tom Washington down there in the middle of the paint, explaining that that's his area. And he said, yeah, that's your area in Madison Square Garden, Patrick. Ewing came back off after missing 3 games, sprained ankle. Came back Wednesday night with 31 points and 13 rebounds. He is a warrior, and I think that's a well-deserved term for Patrick Ewing.
Well, Carl is 2nd in the league in scoring this year at 26 points a game.
7:43 to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's Ewing against Spencer. There's the double team. Open man, Harper.
Bob, I tell you, the thing I found interesting, they used Hornacek to double team. Stockton turned his head, and Harper backdoored him for the layup.
So they burned Stockton again, even though Hornacek was the double. Here's Benoit. He can't hit the 3. Maybe it's because I mentioned the playoff miss earlier. Here's Mason. In the corner this time is Lojas. Mason with the rebound. In the corner is Lojas. Deja vu.
Oh, yeah, he's terrific on the perimeter. For a man that size, he has a beautiful touch.
64-58 Knicks. 6:55 to go, 3rd quarter. Malone blocked out of bounds by Mason. 10 on the shot clock, but we have a timeout.
Excellent pass. Beautiful move. Great block by Mason.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Dutch Boy Paints. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy. And by the GMC Sierra.
There's a place where UV rays beat down so mercilessly they're nearly twice as intense as the sun's. No, it's not some blazing spot on the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we test our exterior house paints to make sure they resist fading, blistering, and peeling. It's one of over 75 tests we do to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power, and it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. But we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new third door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
I'm a victim of child abuse. My life has been ruined because someone abused me very badly. Every day I fight to survive the flashbacks and nightmares. The effects are devastating, and for me, it's lasted my whole life. I suffer because I can't trust anyone. I want to fight back. I want people to know it's wrong to abuse children.
New York 64-58. You know, Utah needs some defensive help in the middle. Unfortunately, they don't have that because they retired the jersey of the man who gave them that. Kevin Kiley.
Bob, I thought you were talking about me, and I'm not available. I'm here with Mark Eaton, who, of course, was honored tonight by the Utah Jazz, and justly so. He 300 blocks 6 times in his NBA career, Defensive Player of the Year twice, and really never played in high school. Sat at the end of the bench, Mark, and then turned out to be a mechanic. What were you thinking of?
Well, at the end of high school, I really had no options athletically, and I decided it was time to get a job. So I went to trade school and learned how to be an auto mechanic, and it was a pretty good one.
And then, of course, went to junior college in UCLA and ended up here, and now they've retired your jersey. What were your feelings tonight?
Well, I think that it just really represents what the Jazz did as a team and as an organization throughout the 80s. You know, taking a team that was really one of at the bottom of the heap and making it respectable, and then to the elite 4 or 5 teams in the league in a period of about 10 years.
And you get a lot of credit for the work ethic that the Jazz promotes today. They're one of the great working teams in the league, and you were the first, I think, to work that hard, and people appreciate that.
Well, thanks. I think John and Karl have carried that on. You know, we don't miss games around here unless we're on death's doorstep.
All right. Mark Eaton, one of the great players, premature retirement with a back problem. Let's go back to you, Bob.
Thanks, Kevin. Still lives in nearby Park City, and as the governor of the state of Utah said, his contributions off the court actually exceeded his excellent contributions on the court here. They love him in this area. Malone with the jam. That's 4 in this period.
That's the first time that they've been able to open up Malone on that back screen by John Stockton.
Ewing quickly back to the hole, raked away by Stockton. Davis. Ewing's open for the jumper. Stockton almost got up there and got a piece of that. May have 66-60 Knicks.
Right now, Patrick has got to stay down inside, you know, low, because he has been putting up great numbers from that spot.
Benoit can't dial it in from long distance tonight. That's 4 misses.
They just can't get anyone at that 3 position, a small forward, to do any damage.
Yeah, Hubert Davis can score from out there. He's been struggling tonight, but hits that 3, and it's a 9-point Knicks lead, biggest of the game.
Coming into this game, Hubert Davis, 3rd in the league in shooting threes at 49%.
Knicks on a 14-4 run. Let's take a look at the GMC scoreboard. Don't forget to watch CNN Sports Tonight for all the scores and highlights around the world of sports. Seattle beat Boston.
Quietly going about their business with only 12 losses.
And congratulations, Lenny Wilkins, 1,000 victories. Isley checks in for Stockton here.
Well, Utah has a major problem. They cannot do anything with the Knicks. And now that the Knicks are pushing the ball off of the misses, their transition game is starting to open up for the nice 18 to 20-foot wide-open jump shot.
Malone misses this time. Nice follow, but it won't go down. Brian Russell, who had just made his first appearance in the game. Well, fouls on Davis.
Yeah, Brian Russell out of Long Beach State was a starter here 2 years ago. Started over 46 games, and you know, really has a nice game. You're talking about a second-round draft choice. Then they brought in Benoit, and then also Adam Keefe, and they have been getting time. But right now, Jerry Sloan is scrambling. What he's doing is just mixing right here and then hoping that he can get some offense as well as defense. Defense is the thing which is needed most here.
They cleared out for Brian Russell to drive. That wasn't such a good idea, but he gets a loose ball. Blocked. Hubert Davis comes away with it. Utah 3 of 13 in this quarter.
Oh, what a sweet move. Now that was beautiful. Hubert Davis playing with a ton of confidence. Don Nelson said today, one of the 5 best perimeter shooters in basketball today, and this is the part of the game that you like. He's really developed taking it all the way to the basket. And the reason that you love it is because he's an 83% shooter.
Ostertag checks in.
I still remember him on the call in the playoffs when they played Chicago, and the Knicks get the mystery call on the foul. No, 2 seconds on the clock. You remember that? And Hubert Davis goes to the line and makes 2 for the big win for New York.
Knicks build a 12-point lead. Utah, trouble scoring. Also some excellent defense. No place for Hornacek to go with it. Shot clock to 5. A jumper, well, a toe raiser by Greg Ostertag.
They say, well, you know, that's out of his range. No, it isn't. They like his offensive game here.
Into Ewing. Double team from Brian Russell. Lowhouse reversing it. Almost threw it away.
Oops. Oh, great.
Look at Harper scramble for the ball. Davis didn't see it out of bounds, and Harper said, after all that work, oh. 72-62 Knicks. Chance to cut it down to single digits for Utah on this possession. See the turnovers, 12-8. Utah with 12, Knicks with 8. Isley giving Stockton a rest. 10 on the shot clock. Stockton. Hornacek, like Stockton. Hornacek with the pull-up jumper there off the pick and roll, which they didn't, he picked, but they didn't roll. 8-point lead. Lowhouse on the pick and pop. Now they've got 10 on the shot clock. Lowhouse had to foul Brian Russell. They had a breakaway going. See what Jess Kersey's calling here.
Oh, he's giving him 2.
Yeah, I thought that was coming. Here's why. 3:13 to go in the quarter. Stockton resting. And the Jazz, who were down by 12, making a mini comeback here late in the third quarter. Brian Russell, who I jokingly say misspells his first name, B-R-Y-O-N.
Now you can see a worried coach there right now. Knicks have definitely dictated tempo all the way here this evening, staying within reading the double teams and finding the free people.
Speaking of finding it, Hubert Davis has found it in the third quarter. Hubert has 16 in the game now after struggling in the first half. Hubert has 12 in this period.
Just ran a double screen on the right side for Hornacek.
This is the jumper. Back come the Knicks with a 9-point lead.
All game long, Bob, the Knicks have done an excellent job on their defensive board, eliminating the second shot attempts.
Hornacek's 4th rebound. I thought he traveled. Malone loses it out of bounds.
I'm like you. That was an excellent call by Bob Neal.
Thank you.
Because he really did. He did take the 2 steps, and he was there. All right, now this is just a beautiful, in-your-face, knockdown jumper.
Okay, time now. The Magic take on the Hornets, Tuesday at 8 on TNT.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power, and it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. but we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new third door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
Neil's Finance Plaza has hundreds of late model cars, trucks, and vans ready to go for only $59 down.
We do what we say, $59 down. Give me a call, 941-8676. I will approve you over the phone right now, 941-8676.
All of Neil's cars are backed with a quality-controlled warranty.
Call me right now. Drive off today for only $59 down.
Call Neil's Finance Plaza at 941-8676.
I'm Ernie Taminia, your Independence Lincoln Mercury and Heritage Ford Chrysler Plymouth Dodge dealer. 4.8% on all new Mercury and Ford cars. At my two stores, the customer has a variety of trucks, vans, and cars to test drive before making a final selection. Windstar, Villager, Chrysler vans, Dodge Ram, and Ford trucks, side by side to compare and test drive. 1995 Lincoln Town cars, program Continentals, Mark 8s, and Jaguars, and I'll see you on the showroom floor.
Now keep an eye on John Stockton with the basketball right now. He's in his position here. He'll pass the ball to the wing. Hornacek will come out. Once he makes his cut and he's not open, he'll come up and back screen Karl Malone's man. Malone will now roll to the rim. Now usually this is a pet play. The Knicks have been doing an excellent job in stopping it all night. Now watch the back screen. Now watch what happens. He comes down, he sets a blind screen, and then they get the advantage, Malone on the roll. That's the first time and only time tonight that it's been successful.
Loose ball run down by Howard Isley.
In this quarter, Utah 5 for 17, 29%. Knicks 8 for 15, 53%. Karl Malone struggling, 4 for 12. Oh, 5 for 13.
And that was a bailout. The shot clock was down to 4 seconds, and he had to take that one. Knicks by 7. 2:04 to go in the third quarter. Charlie Ward in at point guard now. Hubert Davis. Not this time. Davis has hit 5 of his last 7, though, after starting only 1 of 6.
I like that screen. That was a staggered screen across the top of the circle from one wing to the other wing.
There's that Karl Malone hook pass. But the foul is called by Jess Kersey on the Knicks. Some finals here. Seattle beat Boston. 12th straight win for the Sonics. Look out. Ramil Robinson had 20 points as Portland beat Miami tonight.
Yeah, big win for Portland.
Lenny Wilkins, 1,000. You know already that he holds his all-time record. And look at that. Cleveland got a taste of their own defensive message. Held to 68 at the Omni.
Well, the Hawks are capable of doing that.
Here, Jazz have pulled within 6, and Hubert Davis picked up his 3rd foul on that play to send Hornacek to the line.
Main thing right now with Patrick Ewing in the game, New York cannot go away and think that they're going to maintain it by playing perimeter. Do not lose sight of the fact that Patrick is having a good night. Keep him going, and that will open up everything else.
Davis penetrates and kicks it to Ewing.
Nice. Beautiful curl move. And as Davis came off, both players picked him up in the lane. You have to keep Patrick as a force here so that they do not cheat off of Patrick.
Ewing and Davis each with 16 points. Knicks by 7 with just over a minute to go, 3rd period. Brian Russell with the penetration to booster tag. Charlie Ward fouled it.
You're coaching Ostertag now. You tell him, listen, catch the ball with 2 hands in that situation and dunk it strong, because you're going to get fouled and you have a potential 3-point play. You put it up there with 1 hand, they hit you, you miss the shot, now you got to make the 2 foul shots.
Ostertag's a 67% free throw shooter. This is only his 25th attempt of the year.
Well, you remember, we were here early in the year when he broke his hand, his right hand, and he missed 12 games. He was off to a good start. He was playing excellent basketball for them, and they like his talent, and they feel that the future is solid here with Spencer and Ostertag in that position, because they like both guys, hard workers and bankers.
Ball bounced into Ostertag, and he's fouled. Anderson picks up the personal this time. By the way, our colleagues at NBC will have an NBA doubleheader this weekend. We hope you'll join them. It starts at 1 o'clock. Later, I'll tell you who they're playing. As we have the free throws here, I want to mention the Knicks playing without Oakley. We've forgotten to mention that. Not forgotten, but we talked about it at the beginning of the ball game. And Gary Grant missing this game because of the death of his father, the Reverend Donald Grant, and he's back in Cleveland. We send our condolences to the Grant family.
Yeah, Gary's missed 7 games. Now, Oakley has missed 12 games with a broken bone in his right thumb. They have a pin in that thumb.
Charlie Ward missing from long range. Mason with a rebound.
Right now, New York is winning the game of the toughness. They're really out-toughing Utah.
Willie Anderson. Brian Russell caused him to miss that shot. Running into his face. 20 seconds to go in the period. Jazz within 5. That was the margin at the half. Utah's trailed by 12 during this period.
Well, you want a good shot here. If you don't get a good shot, you want to get fouled and get to the line.
There's a pretty good shot. But Isley can't hit it. And at the end of 3, Knicks 76, Jazz 71. Hubert Davis with a big quarter. 12 in the third period, 16 in the game.
Who's girl 6?
You're an actress. Yes, ma'am, I'm an actress.
Who's girl 6?
How are you acting? You're not in front of the camera, you're on the phone.
Hey there, sexy.
Who's girl 6?
I'm whoever you want me to be, baby.
It's the outrageous new comedy.
That's not funny.
It's funny to me.
From director Spike Lee.
Jimmy, no live here. Jimmy, no live here.
Girl 6.
Ooh, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Ouch.
Rated R. Starts March 22nd.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power, and it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. But we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new third door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
It's Gus's Guide to the Game. When we're watching hoops, it's all about moves.
Check out my 360 spin. Ooh, the pickpocket steal.
Around the back, 3-finger dial. Yes. Dominoes.
Sweet. Oh.
Any way you slice it, we've got the pizza for you. Ultimate deep dish, classic hand tossed, or crunchy thin crust. What are you waiting for? Make the call to Domino's.
So, campers, let's go over what we learned. When you drive to the basket, dog, you're going to get fouled. Good. What are you going to do? Make the back. And then what you going to say? And one. What? And one. I can't hear you. And one. Like that. We cool with that? All right. Anybody got any questions?
Hey, I got a question. When do I get to shoot my fadeaway? Fadeaway? Please, guys, come on. Stop. LJ, come on. Please. Come on, man. I don't even have a fadeaway.
There's a beautiful shot of downtown Salt Lake City. This is the high season out here with skiing. You arrive at the airport and the place is packed. People flooding in for wintertime fun. We're at the Delta Center, ready to begin the fourth quarter. Here's what's happened in the ball game. Patrick Ewing got started inside, just abusing Felton Spencer early on one-on-one coverage. Then when they went to the double team with Stockton, the Knicks started making the Jazz pay with that. In the second quarter, John Starks, who we didn't even think was going to suit up tonight, sprained his ankle Wednesday night, came in, and he had a good run with 10 points. And in the third quarter of play, Hubert Davis came up with 12, and the Knicks have a 5-point lead. Knicks have led going into the fourth quarter of several recent games. Chris Morris, who just came in for some of his rare minutes tonight, hits it from the perimeter.
At the small forward position. That's the first perimeter shot made by a small forward this evening.
When we were here previously, Chris Morris was starting at that position. He got hurt. Benoit got a chance to play, and he's been starting there, but not having much success. Rebound, Antoine Carr.
Watch out now. Up until now, the Knicks have only given up one contested layup on the break, and that was Stockton on a steal. Knicks have done a terrific job in transition.
Here comes Mason off the Malone miss.
They have to be worried about this guy because he can really dribble.
Yeah, he walked that time, Charlie Ward. Knicks have led, I was about to say, going into the fourth quarter of several recent games and lost them all. They led Milwaukee, led New Jersey, led Sacramento. Couldn't hold it.
Well, that's because they were getting annihilated on the boards, but not tonight. Ewing is back, and he's playing big underneath. Right now, the Knicks are going with their second unit. The first half, they dominated, 25-11. Let's see what happens now.
10 on the shot clock. Brian Russell. Rebound, Anthony Mason. Knicks by 2, 10:44 to go in the game. Looking to post up J.R. Reed against Antoine Carr. As Reed pounds into the lane, we've got a hand check called on Antoine.
They'll call that every time. And I got to give the refs a lot of credit because they've been consistent since they put it in. No hand checking on the post-up play. You can put a forearm across the guy's back, but you cannot put your hand in his lower back.
Starks just came back in, had 10 points in the first half. Streaky player. Let's see if he streaks here. Fourth period. That's goaltending on Carr. Count the basket. Antoine also with 4 personals, by the way.
Once again, Bob, they double-team the post. Great passing coming out. And then, on the rotation, beat it to the basket.
Stockton leading the Jazz. Down by 4. Pick and roll with Carr. Chris Morris hit it from there last time. That's a triple this time.
Well, you know that this guy has it in his arsenal. He's averaged over 14 points a game throughout his career at New Jersey. What you're looking for, you're hoping that he'll come in hot. He's a 35% three-point shooter.
1-point game. Starks loses it down low. Here's Morris on the run. Stockton in the middle. Going to take it all the way. What a nice play. And the Jazz, down by 12, have taken the lead by 1.
Introducing the new full-time four-wheel drive Lexus LX 450. It's everything a Lexus is, and everything a Lexus isn't.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite. It's not your fault you exist, but gravity, you are no friend of mine. You do not belong in my house, so you show up every morning. I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle. That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you. If only for an instant. Even if it's just for an instant. Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
Scotty back to the hoop. Throws it up and it goes in. What an unbelievable shot.
Sunday at 8 on TNT.
Time for the Dutch boy in the paint. See the rebounding differential there in the forward battle. Malone's going to him, but Mason's holding his own with the rebounds. John Stockton, 21 points and 10 assists tonight.
That's a kick out for Morris. Knocks down second 3 since he's come in. Now this is just a beautiful strip. Now just watch. Stockton has a 3-on-2 here, but he looked the defender off and then recovered that loose ball. beautiful. It looked like he had that one all the way. But he was going to pass to the guy in that outside lane.
Data Stockton, one of the Stockton kids. Well, he has 4 children, 3 sons and a daughter.
Well, in the second half, the Knicks have turned it over 6 times to Utah's 2.
Crowd really into it here at the Delta Center with Utah coming back from down 12 to take the lead. Shot clock down to 7. Starks missing. Morris rebounding. Stockton, one of the few players in the league who can dominate a game. 7 on the shot clock. 6. He's fouled. Count the basket.
Now, that was sensational. He exhausted 2 screen and rolls, 2 pin downs. He's fooling around. The clock is down, and Hubert catches him with a bump. And Hubert says, I've been hitting him harder all night long, and it wasn't a foul.
23 for Stockton, looking for .24. You know, he averages just under 16 a game. Some games he needs to score. He's got that. He needs to assist. He's got that. 10 assists. His average is 11 and change to lead the NBA. Love watching it.
I'd like to see Ewing get in deeper. I really, rather than staying out on the perimeter. They need him down inside.
Ewing with a runner. No prayer. 82-78, Jazz by 4. They're on a 17-4 run.
During this period, Bob, it's the first time all night that they have not had high percentage shots.
How about that? They go down into Foster. He couldn't do anything. Fires it back to Stockton. 8 on the shot clock.
Well, that's winning basketball. Don't force up a bad percentage shot.
4. Stockton threw up a 3 there to miss it.
I'm surprised because Foster was wide open in that corner, Bob.
Foster's been calling for it some, and Stockton hasn't been delivering it to him in this sequence as Harper misses from long range. Ewing just missed the ball. It went right in and out of his hands, and Morris came up with it.
Right now, they should stop the game. Knicks go over and look at their shot chart for this quarter, and you'll see everything's perimeter. 1 for 6. That is not how they've been in this game and in control.
Now Foster gets it from Stockton, takes it to the hoop, and is fouled. Ewing and Reed both down there.
Foster has been a terrific addition to this team. He was the 2nd-round draft choice in '90, the 35th pick, and he's been, you know, with a number of teams. He came out at UTEP. He's been with 6 different teams. Okay, he started at UCLA, went to UTEP, graduated from there, and now he's found a home. In the early part of the season, he won a couple of ball games for them when Spencer was still not available. He and Ostertag took care of that center position. They like the fact that he can score facing the basket, and he's good off the dribble.
Foster puts him in. By the way, NBA on Sunday on NBC. Phoenix at Dallas at 1, and Houston and the Lakers at 3:30. A 19-4 Utah run. That foul on John Stockton. Utah was down 12.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, when you're on the road, Bob, you have to be so conscious of your shot selection and then your tempo of not shooting quick when you're having command of the game. And all of a sudden, the Knicks have fallen asleep in regards to their game plan. The game plan was to melt the clock a little bit more, good ball movement, the power game. They've gone away from that.
It's a 4-point game. 7:36 remaining. Utah with a 10-game win streak here at the Delta Center. 4th best record in the NBA, the Jazz. At 38-17. Antoine Carr.
Now you got to be able to take that shot. When you're trying to score against a good defensive rotating team, when they kick out and they're rotating, you have got to catch and shoot. Catch and shoot. You cannot catch and dribble the defensive recoveries.
And that violation call in Greg Foster, you saw his disgust with the call, but nevertheless, the ball is turned over by Utah. Foster goes to the bench.
I like the call right now. Nelson is calling 5 down. I do believe that's got to be Patrick down low. Something with a screen. And it looks like a Hubert Davis across on a screen for Patrick. Bring him to the ball. Nice. Harper improving the passing angle.
And the open man from the perimeter, Hubert Davis. Not this time. Foster was about to go out of the game for Karl Malone. The referee wouldn't let Malone in. Foster comes in and gets the rebound. This time Mason has it.
Bad shot. Morris, if he'd taken one more dribble, he could have had a little lefty hook shot.
Patrick misses the bank shot. Rebound Brian Russell. Jazz continue to lead by 4 with 6:43. And Karl Malone trying to get in. He'll come in on the next dead ball.
Another high screen and roll.
Open man Chris Morris. That's 3 from the same spot for Chris Morris.
That's the same play. A screen and roll on the one side of the floor is a decoy for a double screen down for Morris. And he's hit 3 in this half.
Ron Olesiak is going to get a technical called on Mason. Anthony Mason called for the technical.
That came at a bad time. Now Mason's upset right now, but it must have come off of that double screen down. I didn't see it because I was watching Morris come up because he was wide open for the 3rd time.
So the technical on Anthony Mason, and Stockton increases the lead now to 8 points. So that's a 20-point differential in this game since middle 3rd quarter when the Knicks led by 12. It has been an avalanche.
It's so hard when you're on the road to keep your concentration when guys are playing without a lot of confidence.
Well, the Knicks will go home, though, to a good welcome in the New York press, I'm sure. This will be 5th loss in a row unless they come back. Somebody got a piece of that.
Well, Patrick thought he was hit below the waist on the release that time. But we've seen a lot of body contact at both ends of the court this evening on post shots.
Under 6 minutes to go in the game. That high screen and roll again. Malone, that's a 16-foot. Mercy. Oh, baby.
He needed that one. He needed that one. That was a bump by Ewing, and he was able to regroup and knock that shot down.
Timeout, New York.
What could possibly be as precise as the tolerances within one of the finest Swiss watches available? How about some of the tolerances within the engine and suspension of one of the finest automobiles available? The Lexus ES300. Let others follow.
Right now, every time you make a calling card call with 1-800-CALL-ATT, you're automatically entered to win a trip for 2 to the NBA playoffs. And a chance to join 4 fans to shoot for $300,000 in prizes on TNT or TBS. The 1-800-CALL-ATT NBA sweepstakes. Every time you use it, you're entered. It's that simple. Well, sort of. That's your true choice, AT&T.
A creature so perfect it hasn't evolved in 350 million years.
Doesn't seem to be living until he bites you.
A natural-born killer with no concern for who you are.
What we are dealing with here is a perfect eating machine.
A beast with one thought on its mind. You taste like chicken. See Jaws tomorrow at 10, followed by Jaws the Revenge. Dive into TNT's Jaws-orama.
We'd just like to show you the screen and roll that they are wearing out. Now, you're going to see the screen right here. Stockton will come over and get down into this area. The roll man will spot up in the corner. But here is Chris Morris. Now, watch the double screen form, and Morris is coming around to this spot. The pass will be made. He has now made 3 threes from that area. The key being Stockton's ability to get into the lane. Watch how the defense comes to him, and then he just kicks out, and it's right there. Now, that is the furthest distance, the deepest distance for the three-point shot. Now, this is the big matchup at the beginning of the game. We said Malone and Mason. We said that Mason had to stay out of foul trouble, and so far he has done that. He's been a thorn in Malone's side. Here's Malone on the screen and roll. There's the roll, and once that comes back to him, see, watch the bump. There's the bump that Ewing that we were talking about, and he knocks it down.
Karl has 17 points, 9 rebounds. It is a 10-point Jazz lead with 5:38 to go. Harper with the penetration draws the foul. If it's Karl, that'll be 5. It is, and it is. 5 on Antoine Karl.
In the NBA, when two great defensive teams, half-court defense, play one another, you have to have a threat of a low-post game. The Knicks showed us that for 3 quarters, dictated the tempo, had the crowd very quiet. All of a sudden, in this quarter, they have decided to win the game on the perimeter. And that is the lack of patience by the guys who are handling the basketball. They have to understand the game plan and stay with it for the full 48 minutes.
But Anthony Mason, he's not had one shot attempt in the second half.
Yeah, but he's doing everything else. He really is. He's banging in there. He's making it tough. He's playing good defense.
Karl was left open that time.
Remember, we tell you about this team. They have a 6.6 differential, second only to Chicago, third only to Chicago and Seattle. And you can see why. They're tough to score against for 48 minutes.
Lohaus hits the 3. That stops the bleeding momentarily for the New York Knicks. By the way, before we overlook it, John Stockton now with 12 assists in this game to go with his 25 points. There's that high screen and roll again.
They're wearing it out, see, because they know the Knicks will trap.
Touch by the Knicks. Going to be Utah ball, 9 on the shot clock.
You got to give, right now, Don Nelson is upset. He did not think that it hit the knee of the Knick on the ball going out of bounds. Give Jerry Sloan a lot of credit. He has stayed with this pick and roll set because it's been very good to him.
And Brian Russell is fouled by John Starks on the entry pass. Starks now with 3.
That was a beautiful back screen away from the inbound pass. That was a dangerous pass, but a nice catch.
It's easy to say at this moment, Jazz up 92-85, but Hubie, the Jazz could come out of the West. They're a contender.
Everyone here feels that this is the best talent they've ever had, 1 through 10, the most size they've ever had, and this is the most flexible team that they have. They can play big, they can play small.
Rebound Patrick Ewing is stripped away from him, but Lohaus comes away with it. Malone with a save. Stockton. Oh, baby. They're on their feet at the Delta Center. They love this team. Who wouldn't? Brian Russell's had the opportunity for that shot several times. Keeps passing it up. Nice foul on the drive by Patrick Ewing.
Well, Antoine knows anytime that Patrick Ewing runs at him in a rotating move, he can just ball fake and take him off the dribble.
Team fouls here. Knicks 4. That's Jazz with 3.
One of the keys to this team, Utah Jazz, is that Antoine Karl must come in night and night out with that second unit, and then when he steps into the first unit, to score.
Off that screen and roll, back down into Karl, and he gets it to Malone. Ewing with a rebound, protected this time.
Knicks, all they need is 1 field goal right here. There's still plenty of time.
Starks. Rebound, Karl Malone, big miss. 3:41 to go in the game. Screen and roll again. When it's trapped, you see Stockton take it out away from the basket. Karl gets it to Malone. Tip in, Chris Morris. Great talent for Morris. He's been somewhat of a disappointment, but you see what impact he can have on any game.
He has all kinds of athletic talent, and when you can bring a guy like he, along with Antoine Karl off the bench, Keith, Ostertag, they got some horses here.
Mason runs down the loose ball. The shot clock down to 6, into Harper.
That was a great rundown and a terrific pass by Mason. Unfortunately, they get the call. Mason is really working hard. He doesn't have any points, but he's doing everything else.
Harper with the offensive foul. You see that Utah's now taking much better care of the ball. Digging it away from the Knicks down to Brian Russell. He's fouled before he drove. Talk about Utah having one of the best records. You know, you talk about Chicago and Seattle and Orlando, but Wemo, there is Utah.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Very quietly, they have the 4th best record in the league. But later on, they still have a 6-game Eastern road swing in 9 days. That could be the make or break of this season to hold on to win the division.
Yeah, Cleveland, Atlanta, Charlotte included among the teams.
Oh, they have to play some tough matchups. Some really tough matchups. Plus Indiana's in there also.
Some scores tonight. Minnesota leading Charlotte late. Charlotte had a big lead earlier. Chicago in front, and Detroit ahead of Phoenix in Phoenix.
Detroit is playing very good basketball on the strip. They're 2-1. But they gave Seattle all they could handle the other night in Seattle.
Willie Anderson. Pretty move. Mason with the rebound and the putback. Anthony Mason, and it is a 7-point Jazz lead with 2 minutes remaining. The question is, do the Knicks have the firepower?
Well, you need a couple of turnovers here. Either that or misses by Utah, holding them to 1 shot.
That pass was deflected. Look at the one-touch batting of the ball by Brian Russell, who gets it back. 3 on the clock. Stockton. Oh, that would have been the nail there. Rebound, Malone, new shot clock. Over and over and over again. Stockton, Malone come up with the plays.
Let's see, they know how to run the clock. This guy right here is just so invaluable. He does all of the intangible things. He knows, he understands their offense, and he understands how to run the clock.
That's a 3. There's the nail. Brian Russell from Chris Morris. It's a 10-point game with 1:19 to go. Mason against Carr. Carr just fouled out with that play. Mason will go to the line. 1:06 remaining.
Now, in this game tonight, you made a great point a few minutes ago. Anthony Mason had no shots in the second half. Anthony Mason could do that all night long to his man. He's got to look at this and say, you know, it's nice to be unselfish, but when you need another power low-post guy, you've got to be the man. Charles Smith is not here anymore to post up. You've got to post up, get to the foul line, put fouls on their other power forward, get them out, and then get in the penalty, which dictates a lot of strategy.
Right after the game inside the NBA, wall-to-wall highlights till it hurts. Craig Sager helping Tim Hardaway house hunt in Miami. Timmy, don't go to real estate agent Craig Sager. I give you some good advice there. And on Monday night at 9, this will be definitely worth viewing. On CNN, Larry King has Magic Johnson on to talk about his return to the NBA. Larry King and Magic Johnson. I think Ewing and I are due on that Larry King show any day now. 9-point Utah lead, 58 seconds to go in the game. Utah about to win their 11th in a row here at home. The Knicks' 5th loss in a row. The road trip is coming to an end after tonight. Stockton, Malone, 12 rebounds tonight. Stockton, 12 assists. Malone fouled on the drive by Mason with 34 seconds to go. Here's a team that's been successful, Utah, year after year after year. Into the playoffs, they always run into some kind of snag. But Jerry Sloan has, and one thing we want to point out here about Jerry Sloan is he's an assistant with Lenny Wilkins on that Olympic team.
Right, along with Bobby Cremins from Georgia Tech. But Jerry with the 50-win 6 season, they've been in that Western Conference Final 2 out of the last 5 years. And when you talk about a player, you know, Jerry was a great player for the Chicago Bulls. There are only two numbers retired with the Bulls, and that being Jerry Sloan and then Michael Jordan. Not bad.
Not bad. Kay Malone, wife of Karl, with his family in the stands. Karl with 18 tonight. He's looking for his 19th point. He's quite a bit below his average of 26.5. Karl's second in the NBA in scoring behind Michael Jordan. Tonight, though, he's done what he had to in the second half of play. As they usually do, Utah does just what they need to do to get the wins. 13 rebounds for Karl Malone. And when crunch time came tonight, New York once again couldn't rebound. Of course, Charles Oakley's out for another 4 or 5 weeks.
Let's give that small forward position a lot of credit. Morris stepped up big, and they used him to pick and roll as a decoy. The Knicks had to play it strong, Bob, and then go to rotation, opening up Morris. And the story comes down, can you make the shots? If you can make those shots, this team is big-time dangerous.
Utah outscores New York 28-12 in the fourth period and gets the victory by 11, 99-88. What a game. Karl Malone, who struggled some in the first half in terms of getting his scoring down. And Stockton and Malone have done it again. We were just looking at Kay Malone, who was giving a signal, and Karl's joining us right now. But first, Kevin Kiley with John Stockton.
Thank you, Bob. John, 17 points in the first half. You were losing. Third quarter, you were down. Fourth quarter, you turned it on. What was the difference?
I wish I could tell you. I hope it was just intensity. I hope we just picked up our defense, got some loose balls, got out in the open floor, and made shots. It all sounds very simple when you do it, but we're a much better team when we defend.
You seemed like you were in control of the game in the fourth period. When they needed to get the ball, you knew you had the lead. You were able to control it and handle that double team up high.
Well, we have good teammates that know where they're supposed to be on the floor. And it's tough to come back in this league if guys know what they're doing, get to their spots, and then execute very well. So we have good guys that'll do that. It really makes my job easy. I just have to kind of dribble around until something floats open.
Bob and you'll be talking all night. This may be the best Utah Jazz team in years. You have a lot of depth, 10 people. Tell me about the playoffs. Do you feel you can go pretty far?
Well, we're not looking at that right now. We have to play well every night. Try to play as good as we can play right now. Get momentum for the playoffs. Anything can happen there. We do have a good team. It's just a matter of playing very, very well in the playoffs.
All right. Thanks so much, John. John Stockton, one of the keys to this Utah victory. The other one at the table with Bob and Ewing.
We're talking about Karl Malone. Karl, 99-88, Utah Jazz get the win. My question to you, you're down 12 points in the third quarter. Knicks playing well. They played well in the first half. What happened?
Well, we knew they was going to come out and play, you know, coach and everybody. You guys know that when guys on a losing streak, they have a lot of character, and they're going to come out and they're going to play hard. But I think in the third quarter, John took control of the game, and like we said, get the ball to him every time and let him make something happen. He's the best point guard far as I play with, the only one I play with, and you have a lot of confidence in it. But what I like about this team here that we didn't have in the past is everybody believe in each other no matter how much we get down. Guys keep working hard. We get the momentum going, and it's fun to play like that.
Well, Karl, we brought out the fact that the bench. Now, in the first half, they get buried 25-11, but in the second half, they come out 23-2. What about your team?
Well, this is the best team I've been on for 1 through 12. And in the past, whenever I came out or Stock came out, we were sitting up on the benches like, oh, man, now guys come out. And in this business, guys have a lot of character. And we got a group of guys on this bench that don't get the recognition that some of us do. But they're trying to do the things that Coach wants us to do. And that shows a lot about this team because we came out, and these guys here, if they needed a victory, they was going to get this one tonight because they've lost some on the road. But we've been playing really well, and it's really good to see our team do that.
All right, let me ask you this. You struggle the first half, you're 2 for 7. Little frustration, 3 turnovers. What goes on at halftime?
What goes on is, Coach, I try to get away from everybody and just try to get my poise because sometimes I play with a lot more emotion than maybe I should. So in the second half, I just wanted to take what the defense was giving me and don't start thinking about the shot. You know, shoot the basketball because that's what I do all the time, and that's what I try to do. But it's a team game, and it's neat to do other things and not have to score 30 points a night because it's old body getting old, Coach.
Carl, I have only one critical word for you tonight here, is you didn't stop and point out your lovely wife, and we had a shot of her there, Kay.
Well, I guess, yeah, that's my wife, wherever she is. That's my wife. We left the kids at home. That's she is right there. That's my wife, and I just want to say hi to everybody back in Louisiana because they was watching this game, and like I said, my mom and everybody, so it's fun to win, and that's my wife, of course, so.
Okay, that may have been a make-good. Let us know. us know if that
Thanks
worked
for bringing
out.
it back up. I can sleep in the house now.
I thought I'd try to get you a comeback there. Karl Malone with an assist from Bob Neal and his wife there, 99-88. The Utah Jazz with the victory tonight. Karl, good job again. And we'll be back to wrap it up at the Delta Center right after this.